don't see us on
It's coming.
stream.
Takes a second.
Okay,
It's not that fast.
just checking, making sure.
Yeah, we should be there. All right. I'll
Oh,
give
there
you
we go.
three,
Yeah.
2, 1.
All right. And we are live. The last word with Ebontis. How's it going on, sir?
Oh, it's pretty good. Got up, had a
Mhm.
good breakfast this morning. Got a workout in. Starting a Friday, right? Not too shabby. Got the workout in. Trying to get ready for Guardian Con. Gonna hang out at the pool with the wife. So
Woo!
got to look like I halfway belong there. There's not enough time to be like, hey, I'm beast mode. It's just like, hey, I don't look like total trash. So
You not trying to dad bod the situation at
I'm
Guardian
trying. I'm
Con?
trying to be less. Trying to be less. Trying to be less.
No doubt. I respect that. Trying to get that.
Yeah.
I gotta get my 2 weeks in. I got E3 coming up, so
Oh, you do definitely. So
yeah, I gotta get my Cali bod ready.
be like, I'm just gonna be. I'll be running to work every day. Where's your work? About 20 miles away. I got some changes to make. So I got some recovery to go. So yeah, got that going on this morning, and then breakfast was. It was the Kodiak pancake or whatever. I got that one. My wife was like, "What about blueberry pancakes?" I was like, "All right, let's put them together. Protein blueberry pancakes." So yeah,
Nice.
not a bad start to the morning. So we'll see how hungry I am in like 1 hour. Hopefully the carb cakes actually the protein holds over.
That's what's up, man.
But what are
Tell
you
you,
up
man.
to?
Not much. Just been busy, man. Obviously, we played some comp. We got some gaming in, so that was good. Just
Yeah, I
been
have opinions
mess.
about that in a minute, but yeah, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
know you do. I know you do because you've been doing a lot of comp. So I've
Yeah.
been getting that. Oh, what's up, chat? Slow mo in the building. Ben Deer in the building. Dramatic. Butt Fuel 81. We have love saying that name. And of course, the WD Prescott was going on. Forte in there. I didn't even see Forte with the green font. Everybody's in here. That's what's up, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been doing good, man. Just a lot of comp, getting that going on, putting up some articles for lordsofgaming.net. I'm in my E3 bag right now, though. I'm in my E3 bag. And I want to talk about that later to remind me as we go through the TWAB because I think they may be alluding
Oh
things.
yeah. So
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we got
uh
to talk about that.
indeed.
You know what I'm saying? But no, other than that, I've been good, man. Just in the grind, getting ready. E3 is probably the busiest time for me. So just prepping and everything that comes with it. But
Oh
once it's
yeah.
over, you're
Lack
happy.
of sleep, of course. So
Yeah, a lot
you're
of
like sleep.
preparation.
What's that? I forgot how that
Mhm.
works. No, that'll
Yeah.
happen too. It's like I get up early
Mhm.
trying to get my workout in. I made a little quick video this morning and then jump in, make breakfast, and you're like, somehow there's not enough time to do this, have fun, and things like that. It's weird. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
before we get going, I did want to just shout out something for
Yeah.
everybody.
Let's
Before
go.
I even talk about comp or anything,
Hmm.
I've seen other people talk about this, and then I saw
Oh,
Grenader Jake's video. I don't know if you saw that one.
I did
Um,
not.
so it's one of those things about being a content creator, and I'm not complaining right now because it's not like my full time thing, but it's one of those things I've seen from somebody else, and this also goes to creating content to also those creating games.
Hmm.
And sorry to anybody for watching the stream this morning. I'm sorry if there are any dips. Hopefully it's not too bad. But if you watch any content creator out there, anybody you get to be a big fan of, anything like that, just know that they're human like you are.
Facts.
People get burnt out. People have different things, and it happens in any job as well. So there's certain things when somebody gets on and they stream like 8 hours a day. It's a job, but for some people, they may have like gotten into something. Maybe they're an introvert or something, and doing that 8 hours a day is an absolute wreck on them
Oh.
internally, but they don't show it. So
Hmm.
it's just one of those things when it comes to hearing about crunch and game developers and hearing about
Hmm.
like streamers and stuff getting burnt out. And then it's a tough thing to find a balance. And the ones who are lucky enough to be like, hey, I'm born for this. I'm crazy outgoing, having fun, making lots of money.
Hmm.
And it's like the people who are wait, Ebontis is not. Thank you, by the way.
Shout out to Ben Deer.
Yeah, it's just one of those things I've seen a little bit, and I see little things all over the place, and people have like usually pretty solid reactions. I saw Grenader do his and looked at the Twitch later, and chat was just like love across the board. And there's usually some things, but there's the occasional moment of toxicity, and it just seems so
Yeah.
out of place in there.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. And the same thing when you have, and that's why the reason I'm bringing
Hmm.
this up mostly is because of the nerfs. Is because the
Hmm.
same thing. It's like you may have opinions, you may not like them, but the
Hmm.
way you handle yourself,
Hmm.
whether it's on the internet, whether it's in person, whether it's on a
Facts.
phone, needs to be as a respectful human being.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
And
mean, yeah,
no, I
continue.
was just gonna say, and just like some of the stuff over the stupid either threats or like, hey, I'm just gonna quit your game or all this stuff. It's like they have reasons for doing stuff whether you agree or not, that's totally fine.
Right. Yeah.
But just the times when they get to be over the top and not necessary, or giving people a hard time, or wondering what's happened with this guy. Hey, did they leave me? Remember, they're humans. They're just people like you are. If they got to take little breaks, if they got to do different things, just be decent. So that's all I just wanted to get out there. And just with all the craziness going on lately, I feel like I have to say this every so often. If you're not having fun, go find some way to have fun, because it's just, go ahead. I just wanted to get that out there after a couple things that I'd seen kind of build up.
That's real talk. I mean, it's real talk. The thing is, it's like, I've seen the toxicity, and the way I look at it is just like, look, man, at the end of the day, you got a decision to make, right? As a content creator, you have a decision to make in reference to burnout and stuff like that. I go through it, you know what I mean? Like we just talked about, I'm doing a lot. And sometimes, you get a little frustrated, you know what I'm saying? And you just got, I think my main motto is appreciate what you do have, because people ain't got to listen to me at all, So I'm just like, all right, so that's the first thing. So yeah, you may not be where you want to be. And it's hard sometimes. I know, especially with how hard a lot of us guys work. I know how hard you work, same thing. And I know I'm putting it in. So that's the first thing, be appreciative of little things. And the second thing, to the second point, which you said, which is in reference to the toxicity, I think it's one of them things where it's like, look, I'm from the school where I don't never want to talk disrespectfully. I want to be able to say what I can say if that person was literally in front of me. You see what I'm saying? So that, because there's a different energy, right? There's a different energy. Like if that
you
person
can't hide behind the anonymity of the internet.
Exactly, because there's a lot of dudes doing this, and that's cool. That's cute. You can say what you want. Just be respectful. That's all I say. Just be respectful, because at the end of the day, it's still a human being at the other end. As angry as I get with this game sometimes too. You know me. I go about emotional rants. But I'm passionate about it. But at the end of the day, it's a job, and I got a decision to say, you know what? I don't want to play anymore because I'm just, and that's it. But I think it's the people who go on grandstanding. That's it. And then, they're atting this person, atting, Deej and atting, you know what I'm saying? And it's like just the disrespect. Like, just be cool. Just be cool. Because again, if that person was in your face, would you have that same kind of energy and that whole entitled bit? And if the game is bothering you that much, guess what? There's other games you can play and enjoy. That's your favorite. I'm using an Eli now. You know what I'm saying?
True. You know what I'm saying? It is absolutely true. Like that's
you're so if you're so upset and you're so angry at the direction, if they nerfed that Skull of Diamond so much, you know what? There's Division 2 there. There's Borderlands coming. You can, like I said, vote with your wallet and do all this other stuff. So that's all I got on it. But good point, though. I'm glad you brought that up. That's actually a fantastic point.
So just wanted to throw that out there. Take a breath occasionally, and just remember too, if you do have an opinion, like constructive criticism formed with like thought and coherent opinions and decency will always go 100 times farther than being just a jerk on the internet and yelling and screaming and throwing a temper tantrum. It's not gonna. It doesn't do any good and doesn't get the point across. And remember, it's like two things a whole lot of people don't do. A lot of people don't listen, for one. So they don't act, they wait to talk. They don't actually listen to understand. It's a huge difference. A lot of people too. And then two, it's like, if you actually wait and think and you take that second, be like, put yourself in somebody else's shoes, put yourself in the developer's shoes and be like, okay, so they're going through these changes on nerfs. Oh, I really love Whisper and stuff like that. Well, try and think through, why would they be changing this stuff? What is going on? I mean, and you can have opinions that say, hey, maybe their boss design with the slams isn't the best thing. And be like, hey, if this is kind of a design, maybe it's a design mechanic thing. Just find your way to like have a coherent argument.
Right.
Like have a thought process of maybe this doesn't work. Why does it not work? And go through through the whole process. Don't be like, that doesn't make doesn't help anything. So that was all. That was just I wanted to get out there in the beginning, because watching his video, by the way, I mean, shout out to him. Like, he used to do trials carries and stuff like that, and he was just talking about his like journey he's gone through and just debating on taking a break from all this stuff. And it takes it on some people. So it's one of those for him, and it was emotional.
So you talking about leaving the game? You talking about leaving the game? Like
leaving, just streaming and stuff streaming and gaming and stuff for a while. And he's, I mean, that's one of those for him. He's like, hey, it's been cool. It's been kind of tracking down, tried some other things, but he's just getting to a point to where, I mean, for him, it's affecting personal life.
Yeah, that's when
And
when you
that's
cross that line and it's now becoming unfun and affecting your personal life.
yep.
Yeah, then you've really got some decisions you got to make.
Yeah, so that
Hmm.
just remember everybody behind these pieces of text are humans, and there's probably even more people behind them as well, whether it's a spouse, whether it's, 800 developers behind the people writing the TWAB, all those
Hmm.
people who are killing themselves making amazing art or sound effects or missions or all those
Hmm.
things. There's always so many poor people out
Hmm.
there that are involved in this stuff. So just take a second, remember that. I know this is all like preachy and stuff in the beginning. I'm
Hmm.
sorry. Just throwing
No,
it out
being
there to
real,
start it out. Just trying
being
to
real, brother.
turn the ship a little bit here. So, but
Respect,
yeah, what
respect.
have you been? So let's talk
Hmm.
about some Destiny 2. I know we've been playing
Yeah,
I
man.
actually played with you a little bit this week. We
I
jumped in a
know
little
it's like the
bit.
most we played together in a
I
while.
know. So what have you been? What are you working on right now? Because it's a time where we know
Hmm.
season of Opulence is around the corner. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you have that like kind of downtime.
Hmm.
We've got what we're gonna get for this season. So
Hmm.
what's your grind, and then I'll talk about mine.
I
What are you
think
working
what it
on?
is, yeah, for me, it's like I always get into like this what I call the pre DLC mode,
Yeah.
right? Where you're like 2 weeks out. I call it like you're 2 weeks out. You know what I'm saying? Like before a fight. So when you're before the fight, you're trying to prep as much as you can for all the adjustments. See, I'm a person. Yeah, I may complain when the nerfs come out and be like, "Oh, I don't like this" or whatever, whatever. But at the same time, I adapt. So the way I look at it, it doesn't matter what meta Bungie's gonna do. I'm gonna be ready. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So when scouts are in the trash right now, I'm holding on to some of the best rolls I got in my vault. You know what I mean? When this is going on or this gets nerfed in Crucible or PvP, I have my options. So I think for me, the number one thing is shout out. I know pretty much a lot of you guys may know already, but once the whisper joint hit, I'm like, okay, I really need to focus on the next best thing in my repertoire, which would be Darcy, right? So I'm like, all right, let me get Darcy out. And lo and behold, I'm like, oh, I had the catalyst. I didn't even realize it, right? So I'm like, all right, let's get it going. So I'm like running triple sniper, trying to, get the kills because as long as you have Darcy equipped, you get credit. So I'm rocking that. And I learned some stuff. I learned escalation protocol sniper is really good, yo.
No, I haven't even used that. That's probably
Bro,
been sitting in my vault forever.
I've never used it. It literally, I dusted it off. I'm like, yo, box breathing, triple tap, good aim assist, a lot heavy ammo count. I'm like, yo, this is a nice little. I'm literally running like almost either two snipers and blast furnace or whatever, three snipers, just getting the kills, trying to get that catalyst done because I want that maximized. So that's the first thing. And then PvP obviously is where I saw you because
Hmm.
obviously I am the comp guy. I love to get comp. I try to log in one morning. I see who's this Ebontis character playing Crucible. What's this? So I shot you a message. You're like, yeah, let's get it. So we just got it in, man. And shout out to Ebontis carrying me this whole week. He's out here, put me in his backpack, showing me how comp is played. Yo,
No.
he's putting in work. He's humbled. He's putting in work, y'all. Don't get me wrong. Like, I haven't played PvP in a while. No excuses. I'm running a build that I don't like. No excuses. But I'm trying to get this comp thing. But nah, he is putting it in, man. He's got his Titan out there. He's got his ace of spades. He out here moving. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just following his lead, trying to get these wins and get these solo kills for Luna. Get that out the way. Recluse working on that at the same time. And what was one other thing? I forgot one of those one of them other crucible bounties, I think at the same time. I think what is it the one we have the grenade launcher one that's
Mountaintop.
annoying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I figured, you know what? Why not? Just, throw that bad boy in and get it done. All 3. Mhm. So that's
Yeah.
me. What about you?
Well, uh,
Hmm.
basically at this point I was like, okay, so I started knocking things out somewhat recently. Been working on seals because I was like, okay, I can grind some of those out.
Hmm.
I'm a week next week. I'm gonna get my curse breaker, so I'm 1 week away from that, which is kind of cool. So just
How many
waiting on the
titles do
ascendant.
you have, sir?
So I got dredging
Mm.
first. That one happened. I was playing it. Shout out to Bender and Havoc.
Hmm.
Those guys I was playing with that night. We got the 4 stack to get the
Hmm.
75 motes deposited without losing any. So that's the
Hmm.
one where if you get that one, luckily you are lucky because yeah, we coordinated the crap out of that one.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
a
was
coordination.
first.
Hmm.
Then I got Wayfair, which took the grind of just pretty much everything everywhere. I played Curse of Osiris, so I
Hmm.
had that set, and I forget who I
Hmm.
was talking to. Somebody didn't have that one.
Hmm.
But I was waiting on Mars to drop me like one weapon, and it's from doing all those little memories fragments or the little.
The things, what is it? The prophecy things.
Yeah, it's the little tiny diamonds that like open the little and then they close like when you open them. It's
like the simulant
sleeper
things?
nodes or whatever they're called.
Yeah, the nodes. Yeah.
The nodes. So I had to do those like and it's just like the way when you want to go grind some of that stuff out, you see questionable nature in the way some of that stuff is built.
Yeah.
Because like you can do 4 of those, like 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there you'll get a drop at some point, and it's the Mars schematic or whatever, Braytech schematic, and you can go get 1 drop, but that's it for the day. You have to wait. Yeah. And sometimes it's like the little time gated stuff, you're like, it's not quite the best feel.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's funny you said, just to jump in.
No.
I actually started a Curse of Osiris to get it done, and I noticed that too. Like that. Remember the whole thing when you're doing the prophecies and you got the tablet and then they want you to do public events and everything is kind of like, I just didn't like the progression. And I see why Curse got the flack it got. Like a lot of the progression is a little.
Those weapons.
Oh,
that was rough, man.
That's rough, man. It is rough.
Indeed. So yeah, I got that. So finally had that one drop, and then I was waiting on. I think that was one of my last pieces when that one dropped and then it was like the weekly cycle for actual Escalation Protocol. So that happened. So that was way fair. And then I was like, all right, so I got my Wish Ender. Was going through shooting eggs on the Ascended challenges. So that's next week. And I was like, what about Chronicler? And I put up a video recently, and I actually just put up a video about the lore book for Varix as well.
Yes.
Because that one is one that is like, you can only work on those at specific times. Like the ghost stories, you can run around and go get all the collectibles. You can go, some are just done by playing the campaigns, but then seeing that Chroniclers, like Truth to Power specifically, is the one that's like, only on Curse Week 3 can you get that progress done. And I was like,
yeah, very time specific. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to finish mine 4 days before that little pin goes off sale, but I think I'll be able to get 4 pins. I'm not going for like the whole raid flawless on either of those.
You're going for that?
It's not really. I don't think I can do that. So
you ain't about that Scourge life, that perfect Indiana Jones Sparrow run. You're not about that life.
Yep, not so much. So yeah, all that happened, and then I was like, all right, what else? Because I kind of know I'm at the point where I just have to wait. And I was like, what else can I work on? And I was like, Crucible weapons. Yeah. So I jumped into, and honestly, what prompted me off, and like, dang it, Bungie for doing it with the invitation, having to actually play comp. That was what it was. So it was like, so I did the 3 Rumble matches, that kind of was quick play, and then I played comp, and I was like, I won 2 out of 3, and I was like, I had like 348 glory. It was just like from randomly playing at some point. And then I got like 2 out of 3, and I was like, I went back after that was done. I was like, let's go see what some matches like. Went on like a streak, had like 5 or 6 wins in a row, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm like halfway to 2100, halfway to Fable, and I was like, okay, hold on, before I lose anymore. So shout out to Carolina Gamer. He's got help. He's got a Discord server out there. He's like helping people, putting them in their backpack basically. So I went in there, ended up playing with one guy on that server who was cool. We got about part way there, and then ended up finishing with his team and got there. So I was like, cool, I got Fabled. So I got Recluse, and then I was like, well, what else? Luna's Howl. Oh my god. That grind, shout out to anybody who's done it, and by anybody's mean who has done Not Forgotten, that is a long, long grind, because it's 150 hand cannon kills, 200 solar kills, which is sometimes more specific than you think. 3 Rumble matches was like, and then now I'm on the 100 precision kills, and I have 10 to go.
Oh man, you've been look at you in my comp like this.
I have played so much comp in the past. I've played more comp in the past week than probably in my entire life of Destiny.
I know. It's weird to see you exclusively in it. Like, I'm like, what is he doing in my area? This is weird. And going hard. Like, you are going hard in this thing,
just
man.
Living in there. Just absolutely living in comp.
Now I got to ask you the question, because I know you're grinding, right? But part of me thinks was enjoying himself a little bit, man.
I'm not against it.
I see I seen the fever start. You're like, okay, let's get back in there. And then you get your call outs. I'm like, okay, he's getting into this because now you're understanding why I like it. I mean, is it perfect? No, but it's something about Destiny PvP. Like, it still has a hook. Now, granted, I know how you feel about Countdown. I ain't gonna talk about Countdown. I did not like no Countdown.
Yeah, so Countdown's a game mode that I have strong opinions on, and I'm not the only one. When half the people that I've played with are like, oh, Countdown. Like, I have a hunch, if you could vote, even, I don't care the map, if you could vote the game mode that you play before you start the match, say it's between, like, it's two, it's Control or Countdown, or Clash and Countdown, or Survival and Countdown, and I've got a feeling nobody's going to be picking Countdown, honestly, because my issue with Countdown is the way you design a game mode to try and detonate this charge.
Right.
That's your intended goal. The way it's played at a higher level is they just go for the kills. They don't go for the charge. Because if you get the charge, and unless you can defend it, it's harder to defend it than it is to just go wipe out the other team.
Just wipe out the other team. Right. So fundamentally, it's not always to your advantage to do the objective. It's
pretty much
you can
never
just go
to your advantage to go to the objective. It seems like if
Mm-hmm.
you go like dunk early and you're just waiting for 1 year split, they're probably 4 and 3. Then they might take your team. Then they just wipe you out and come back and just turn it off. And it's just like, and they have enough time. It always sounds like they're not going to have enough time. They seem to always have a pretty good amount of time to get that thing uncharged or whatever. So Countdown, I have opinion. 4 stacks. 4 stacks against the solo man over here.
Who's that?
Me. I'm the solo guy in comp. Like, and if you like pair up and you're like, oh, these people have the same emblem. Oh no, it's a 4. Oh god, here we go again. It's a very different feel. I mean, it really is, because it'll be like, hey, one person's going around and flanking. Hey, you can tell when they're like kind of team shot and like phasing it out.
Coordinated. Oh yeah.
Because you're like, if I could just get one more shot, but then they try it out, they literally just like shift positions with somebody with full health, and I'm like, God, so many times I'm like the king. You might be like the prince or whatever, but dude, I am the king of wounding but not killing.
Oh no, same.
I was like,
man.
oh, it's so bad.
The hunters, and they just roll away and then they out, and you're like, oh, man.
I don't have the backup. I don't have the backup dodge as a Titan. Like, I mean, okay, I will say
hunters are built for PvP, and then the
absolutely.
elusiveness, the triple jumping, and it's man.
I can't tell you how many times I've been like over jumped. I'm like, I'm just an idiot down here.
I'm like, oh, there he is. Yeah. There's the mind bender's ambition to face. There's the.
So yeah, either being like, my skill level not great. I might be able to solo queue up to 2100, but I seem to hover 1800, 1900, 2000, somewhere in there. So I'm like, I'm okay. But I'm definitely like, no, in hell, I'm going to get up to Not Forgotten. For one, on my own, because that's just not going to happen. And two,
it's tough.
Yeah, so, but no, I'm actually like, I'm enjoying certain pieces of it. I like the feel of kind of the little more coordinated working together. You see people in comp who actually like, most people are going to be in there. Because I went to go play Rumble and I saw a dude like, just like with a bot. I did not see one.
Really?
That was in Rumble. Wow. He's just getting his games in or whatever. But in comp, I don't see that at all. So people do take it a little more seriously. You don't have to be crazy diehard, but people are like, people are trying. They're like coordinated around the like heavy ammo. Be like, hey, popping shields. They may not always take the heavy if they're not built for it or they're not running the right. It's a different feel.
It's a feel. Let me jump in real quick too, because the reason why
I've been talking a lot. My bad.
No, it's all good, bro. The reason why I love it as much, not saying I'm doing the greatest either. I'm like average, above average, on the best day. But the reason why I like it is that I learn the true meta. I learn what's really effective, because there's some things that I call cute in quick play. Like, you're like, oh, that's cute. You got off. You get like a 20 streak. You're like, oh, this is my gun. This is my loadout. You bring that bad boy up in there and comp, you get to see how ineffective that loadout is. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, literally, when I'm playing with you, I was sitting at the team I was playing with, because I was in my counter outbreak prime loadout when I played with you this week. And nobody was really running primes that much.
I see it a lot in there.
I didn't see it. So this week, I didn't see it. And it was different loadouts I had to deal with. I was dealing with a lot of shotgun apes. I was completely unprepared, and I was dealing with more Lunas. And I'm like, okay, gotta throw vigilance a little bit away now. I gotta throw my escalation a little away. So what I did is I got the new joint where I got my bug out, my 900 as for the rushers, and I brought back out last word, which I actually can use. And I was playing more effective as we got on a little bit better. Because when we first started, I had my old vigilance, I had other lineups I was messing with, tried Malfeast, I tried a couple things. I just wasn't in my groove with the competition I was facing this week with you. But yeah, man, like that's why I like it. It's to me, it's just more about information, what's effective, what's not effective, and just being able to adjust on the fly to what people are doing. But I will say this: I cannot wait till these solo kills are over because I hate using. Shout out to the people who can use Dawnblade Super. I'm just not that good with it, man.
Really?
I mean, I'm not. You know what? You know why I don't like it? It's a good super, but because he holds the sword, it blocks my view of, like, I have to be in the air all the time so I can get a hover or to see everybody, around you. But you can't really do that in a lot of these enclosed maps. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I rather I even rather use Stormcall at this point right now. It's something about the way Dawnblade is when you're using it, it obstructs my view to actually lash out at the enemy, and I actually get killed more sometimes because of it. Unless I'm in the air. So that's just me. That's just me. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I will say Dawnblade. So, yeah, opinions about supers.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I run Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will 100% agree. One-eyed mask, crazy advantageous. So, watching the tag, waiting for him to peek in and out and stuff like that definitely helps a lot. No question. Not arguing. That is pretty crazy strong. But when you are facing off against hunters with spectral blades that I can throw a hammer at, and it just like it bounces off of them. Like, I'll go super, I'll smash them in the face. They seem to be fine, and they don't even die from the hammer and the explosions. They swipe me and just keep going.
And keep moving.
They can cover so much ground. Trying to think of another, like, couple other ones that have lasted so long. Dawnblade lasts a long ass time, by the way.
It does. If you're in a good groove, it does. It does. I'm not gonna say it does. I'm not gonna say it's probably just me. I just don't like how it obstructs my view. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With the way the sword's in the way, but the super itself is effective. It's really just a cognito thing, I'll admit. But nah, I need my Nova Warp and I need my Stormcall. I can't wait to finish these solar kills and be done with it, so I can play my normal PvP subclass.
And then Blade Barrage. Oh my.
Panic.
No aim, on screen, not like Panic, Thunder Crash. Still got to be near them.
Right.
So I understand, like, you got to be near them. They might pop you on a corner. I'm like, fine. It's like, I'll accept it. There's only so much you can do. But, like, halfway across the map, the Panic up in front, I can literally throw a hammer and have it, like, releasing out of my hand. But this far, if not hitting a guy, if he pops Blade Barrage, he survives, kills me in my super, and he still does it, and then he survives and I'm dead. And I'm like, how's that work?
It's the ultimate shutdown super. I'm over it. To be honest, I trust me, I'm not saying you're wrong.
It's just like,
I'm so used to it now. It's
it's one of those that, like, sometimes the super balancing they don't feel remotely even to me. Because, like, I mean, so everybody's like, I mean, Golden Gun is probably still going to be able to shut me down too.
Right.
Nova Bomb, that one's slow. It's really hard to get away from, but it'll still eventually kill you.
Slow.
It's like that slow death of like, no.
Yeah.
Not much you can do. But I just feel like I feel like hammers, and I could be the only one just because I'm the dumb guy playing Titan in PvP. But like, if I throw a hammer and it is direct contact, that should kill you, or at least trade. Like, I'll do some trades, but that should, and a lot of the supers, they survive, and I'm just like, what the hell? Yeah,
no, I agree. If you're supering someone else, you should. Like, that should be,
because if they get me, I should be able to get them. Like, that seems like a fair trade, because I at least have to aim mine, especially if they're far away.
Exactly. And like I said, that armor and spectral blades aggressiveness, it's a tough one. So that one's coming though, right? That we've got that nerf.
We'll see.
Coming.
Yeah. But honestly, what I will say is, I know comp may frustrate a lot of people. It may not be your bag, and it's one I've played a lot more. And I was kind of like, I always play Destiny PvP. I'm like, I'm not as terrible as I'm not great.
You're actually solid, man. You don't give yourself no credit.
Okay.
I'm like, why doesn't he play more? Like, he's solid. Like, you have an idea of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
an idea. That's the best I'll play. But I will say, like, for comp, it will change. Quick play can be like, hey, I'll just run in. I'll do this stupid stuff. Like, it will change. It will make you understand the value of each one of your lives. Staying alive, whether it's survival, whether it's countdown, whatever it is, like when you hit an engagement, it's like, and that's where hunters are really crucial at this, is they get to dodge back out. But it's that point where you get tagged but not killed, where you play smart and you're like, I gotta go. Like I got tinged, but I didn't get killed. I gotta be like, all right, I gotta duck. I'm gonna go a different direction, regain health while I take a different path, as opposed to I'm just gonna force this one because I really don't care. Those little thought processes will make you a better player. It takes time, believe me. My week has been really slow progress, but it's just the mentality of like when to actually go for it if you think you can, or when you know you're gonna be beat and you can't save it. And it's those little pieces that make a lot of difference, actually. So
yeah, it makes you a better player. It makes you a better player for sure.
And then my final piece is I've been using Ace of Spades like crazy. I'm on PC, so that seems to be a good way to go. And it's been hand cannons the whole time, so why not? But I will definitely say you get a huge, like, you almost know when you're on the host side and when you're not.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. I'm like, man, I'm like nailing these Ace of Spades shots. Next time I'm like, I cannot hit what feels like the broadside of a barn. And I'm just like, oh, what is... And they're just completely different feels. And I'm like, I'm the same guy shooting the gun. I know my skill's not doing, like... I have moments, but my skill is not way up here. Like, I'm hitting everything going on like a 5 or 6 streak. Momentum more is just locked in the entire time to... I can't hit a dude in the chest or the shoulder or the toe, much less the head. And it's those feelings of like not hosting.
Peer-to-peer, baby. Peer-to-peer.
So, yeah, chalk up the another one definitely in the dedicated servers column to.
Well, hopefully now that they're free from Activision, and we know how Activision doesn't like to do dedicated servers,
but in turn, that's going to cost them their own money. So,
well, we gotta see. We gotta see what happens in the future. So, I got some predictions.
So yeah, that was a really long talk about comp. Sorry, I know you guys probably came here to talk about Season of Opulence, but yeah. So honestly, like I'm enjoying what I've been doing. It's kind of an interesting way to play. It makes me kind of appreciate, for one, the skill of others, because it's insanely good to watch what the epic ones can do, and then two, just to think about things a little different, a little smarter. So. I know comp isn't for everybody, but I've been enjoying it. So honestly, like whatever the next pinnacle is, I might actively try and go after it a bit more. So
that's what I'm talking about. It's like, good to see you, man. He's got now you understand why I like it. I mean, I still love doing it. Even if I'm not playing well, like I'm learning, I'm getting information, and then you get that satisfaction when you get those weapons, man. You feel good. You know you grinded to get said weapons. But enough about comp. Let's get into it, man.
All right, so comp talk done. TWAB
time.
So everybody's been anticipating this and then what comes next in the TWAB, because guess what? We're going to be talking about Season of Opulence. And next week, actually, thanks to Cosmo's tweet, is going to be probably even more like what people are waiting for. Mostly because he's going to be talking about the stuff everybody wants. Pinnacle weapons, sandbox buffs, and more Season of Opulence info. That's next week. So that's going to be a fun TWAB for sure.
That's going to be a fun TWAB. Yep, for sure.
Pinnacles are always cool. So I'll be curious. Like, so let's get a little...
You're going to have investment now. I love it.
I know, seriously. Let's get a little forecast. What do you think, since now we've got Gambit, Vanguard, and Crucible, give me Archetype. What do you think? Hit me.
Comp, let's see. Let's just backtrack for a second, because we got the last one. We've got Recluse, right? Recluse was debuted.
Mountaintop, Luna's Not Forgotten. I think.
I think we're due. Probably due for a Pulse, man. Because Redrick's. Yeah, so maybe
I guess that was the first.
Yeah, Redrick's the first. I'm trying to think of the archetype that we haven't touched yet.
Scout
Sniper. Could be Scout, Sniper, Shoddy. Right?
Oh god, I can't even picture a comp Shoddy.
That would
That's
be
terrifying.
toxic.
That's
That would be
terrifying.
toxic.
Oh man.
That would be toxic. I
Sniper would be
say
the one actually I've heard a
yes.
couple of people ask about too.
It's
Shout
either
out to
gonna be
Net.
it's gonna be sniper or scout. I say scout because they're so underutilized, and I think Bungie wants because I
Ooh,
think
bow. Bow would be cool.
oh, I forgot about Bo. Forgot about Bo. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
Bo is a weapon.
little sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
When you're playing in comp round 2100 and there's two people on the other team mostly exclusively using bows, fear them, by the way, because they're damn good. Le Monarch, and then what was the other one? I'm trying to remember what they were hitting me with. Either way, if somebody's exclusively using a bow in comp, they know how to use that bow in comp, and it's impressive. So anyway,
I'm gonna go with my guess. I'll go with scout, just because Bungie. I'm gonna guess they want to get some archetype usage up. What you going with?
Well, the underdog story would be a sidearm.
Oh Lord.
If
they're not that bad. They're not that bad.
I was like, I mean, they took a submachine gun like Recluse and made it viable everywhere. So it's all about what it does.
Yeah.
Now, not a lot of people love sidearms, but if they could lock it in, make it really solid and stable, maybe give it a cool perk, like that could. But I was like, they just hit that range with submachine guns. So I feel like the farther range is going to be one to think about, which is kind of annoying because the more you play PvP, the more you see some maps like the one that used to be the one with the 3 lanes. It's a big sniper map.
Oh, the big sniper one. The
it was like outside, inside, middle. Most people play middle and inside.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody plays the outside on. Nobody plays the outside in D2. I noticed that. No one goes outside. They used to, but they don't.
Used to. Yeah, they don't.
But like, so sniper would have some uses. Scout would be interesting because they try to scout in Vanguard and it's meh.
Yeah.
So we've got, I'd be curious to see sniper, what they would do to make a comp sniper specific. So you got Vanguard. What do you think there?
Vanguard. We had Oxygen. We've had Loaded Question.
Yeah.
What else have we had? Those are the only 2?
I feel like, is that really
I
all?
feel like those are the only 2.
I think they started the Pinnacles in comp, right?
Yeah, first.
And
I think
then
Vanguard's late. Yeah.
Vanguard was late, and then Gambit was just this one, I think.
Yeah. So we got Scout. We got. Yeah, we do for another archetype. I'm gonna say hand cannon. Let's get it back. Baby.
A PvE hand cannon would be a rocket launcher. That's about the only thing.
Rocket would be nice.
A rocket with like, what if it had 2 in the clip?
With some two-tail fox action kind of thing,
or just like 2 without having to reload.
2 without the thing, without
Kind of how
I can see that.
Used to have multiple. That'd be interesting.
That'd be interesting.
Bring back the rocket launchers.
Yeah, no, shout out to those.
And then Gambit, I have no idea what they're gonna do because after 21% delirium, don't know.
Yeah, 21, and we had breakneck.
Yep.
Yeah. So
auto rifle.
Tough, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they're gonna start stacking on top, so I'd be curious how creative.
But they've got a ton of archetypes that they just haven't touched because the metas for those archetypes suck. So what I think is gonna be, my guess is it'll be archetypes that have not been used before, but what they'll do is they'll coincide it with a balance update to that entire weapon class.
Yeah. Because
if you remember, when Recluse dropped, SMG's got a slight buff overall. Yeah. So that's how they tend to marry based on Bungie logic. That's what I'm going by. You know, so I think that they might do that dramatic, so they bring an axe.
Throwing axes.
That would be funny. But yeah, man, let's see what happens. I think it'll be a class that theoretically is weak, but they'll put something new in that archetype, buff the archetype as a whole, and then maybe we get something special to happen, like we got with Recluse.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to have to be better than Recluse, too, because Recluse now for that like short to mid, Master at Arm procs, I'm still getting used to actually like thinking about it right now, but it is powerful when you see it. It's just like, oh, I'm not doing that damage. Master Arm's like, bzz, just mow that health bar down. So, and being killed by it over and over and over and over. So,
over and over.
So that should be interesting. So that's coming next week. The Pinnacles will be a discussion. Sandbox buffs. So some will be coming, just as you said, probably coinciding with some of those Pinnacle weapons. That makes pretty perfect sense for sure. And the more Season of Opulence info. But this week, we got some info more about day one, a lot of it. just so we kind of know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, from one season to the next, as Season of the Drifter comes to a close, a new source for powerful rewards will emerge. So this time, the Drifter will return to his role of Gambit Hype Man, and Benedict is about to become your source for brand new secrets and rewards. So Benedict 99-40. I wish he had a little closer walk to get to, because he's not easy to get to, no matter which way you come from. So I'd like him to move to another spot.
Be a little easier on the trains, Matt.
Cave bunker down the stairs around the corner. So power surge bounties that were at the Drifter will actually be changing. So instead of a set of bounties, a new power surge quest will be your jumping off point for Season of Opulence. This is the key number 1. You will need to complete this quest to access the raid.
Doom, doom, doom.
Learning from Season of the Forge, this quest must only be completed once per account. Thank you.
We like that. That.
After one character completes the quest, alternate characters will be rewarded with surge gear at power level 690. So, first, taking one season and learning. What do you think?
I'm sorry, repeat that last question.
Taking one season and just learning how they're rolling out the power surge this time.
Cool. I'm okay with it. I mean, they're making this a prerequisite to the raid. Cool. I ain't got no issue with it. To me, this is just more so, as we'll get into the next series with Gambit Bounty, I think they're just trying to add more importance to Benedict. And, it's interesting that they're making this, you just can't just go. You have to do this part. So I'm very curious to see what this quest will entail. Will it be something simple like Invitation of the Nine kind of stuff? You know what I'm saying? Or, will it be like story? Doubt
Please
it.
be some story.
Doubt it. But
come on, give us some story to the raid. Come on. Come on.
We ain't had a strike in I can't even remember. Me asking for a strike or a story mission at this point seems to be
I can see a story mission through previous content, like they did the Adventure on Nessus to kind of tease the Leviathan. I could see them do some stuff like maybe some Callous voiceover or something like that to get us in that direction to kick off the season, because this is how you're going to start. And then if this is your requirement to go in the raid, it has to connect. Otherwise, I'll be disappointed. It should. I will say it should connect. I know.
This is the annual pass.
I know. But this is also, but remember, this is also Vicarious Vision Swan Song. It's had the longest to be developed. So I'm hoping, at least if you have a quest that is required for the raid, it connects to it. If it doesn't, that is a lost opportunity. I'll just say that.
I would agree with you.
Okay,
but, again,
so I'm trying to keep it decent here.
Remind you, we're coming off just walking up to Ada the tower. Remember that?
I
know. Let's keep expectation.
We had Ada, we had the Forges, we had the Broken Niobe Labs, which was stuff happens. Then we had the Invitations of the Nine, getting some. I feel like they're setting up. So I was actually sorry. Sidebar again. The last Invitation of the Nine. Did you watch it?
I did not.
Okay. Do you know what happens in it?
You can spoil.
Okay.
Oh wait, no matter of fact, I did. I think Bife put something up.
He probably did, but
is it? Can I space?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
Okay. So no. Just you can go for it. You can go for it.
So basically, we've got the Drifter talking to the emissary. Kind of as to what's going on, and he has shout out to Nim last night. He was kind of on DCP. That was an awesome one. Talking about it, basically saying the Drifter fears actual combat. That's why he sends us to do all these different things. But he's having these dreams and visions of another collapse, of another overtake of the darkness. That's that's what he's fearing. So his little coin that he flips, the ding, 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 ding. As it always changes to Scorn or Hive or whatever it's going to be, this is the first time, not the first time they've acknowledged, but you have Mara's home, throne world that has the triangle ships, and then now on his coin, it's a triangle ship. That's the icon. It's not Hive, not Scorn. He flips it and looks down, and she's like, He's like, I've been worried about what's coming and stuff like that. And he looks down and it's on there. So like, this is all like some preamble and lore building. And I swear they're setting this up because to me, if they bring the space, and this is again where we're going to see what comes in the future when we get to the later stuff, like the space Doritos, the triangle ships, have to come with some large, have to come with a Forsaken minimum size piece of content, if not D3.
Oh,
I don't
absolutely.
think they can do the like triangle ships in September or October, whenever it might be. I don't think they can do that soon because I don't think it gives a new race, this like giant thing we've been waiting for years, enough weight if they're just like, you know, Destiny 2 Year 3 triangle ships, like whatever they're going to call it. Like, I don't think that can happen. But they're playing a really long game to like take Season of the Drifters Invitations Denied to build something up for later. So it's very interesting how they're really planting some major seeds. We don't know what's up with Aldrin.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. I'm literally waiting on that. That moment when he walks back into the tower, I just want to see Akura's face. That's what I'm waiting for.
She's gonna lose her. She's gonna lose it, and somebody's gonna be like, "Wait."
Yep.
Or I feel like Zavala's gonna have to like bubble him.
Yeah, but don't bubble
he's
him.
gonna be like, "Hold on, he doesn't know what he did. Give him a second, guys. Breathe."
He's gonna give us the "I told you so" speech. See the repercussions of your actions.
So like all those things are kind of getting set up. So it's I'll be very curious to see what happens with all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's the long play. I think Invitation 9 is the long play. My gut tells me D3. That is where that goes down. And then we're still gonna, ever since we got rid of old boy Dominus Goal, we've been seeing the foreshadowing planet to planet of where we're going content wise. And so I still think we're not all the way Doritos ready for the fall yet.
So
we got Savathun, we got a bunch. We got stuff.
You got the Dreadnought coming potentially back, basically. So that's the next piece in the expansion of the light that gets hit is the Rings of Saturn and all the ships that were there and all that stuff that went down. That's the next piece. That is honestly probably what would fit the best, like for fall, sometime fall.
And my prediction with that, Eris, we get to see Eris back.
I always liked her. Thought she was
I like
dark,
Eris.
but like cool. And the lady who does her voice is awesome when she like it's like sends tingles through your spine, dude. When she does it right, I was like, whoa, creepy.
She's good.
So.
She's good.
So yeah, sorry, random. But yeah, so the power surge bounties will get you up to 690 from Benedict 99. So this is all in tune for everybody talking about the raid race. So these all pieces are coming together. Then we've got Gambit bounties. We didn't want the rewards for the Drifter to be one of your primary sources for power following his run as the central character for Season of the Drifter. As a result, power boost received from Gambit bounties will decrease once you achieve 700. So, like, you know, Gambit Prime and Reckoning and stuff, those would be pretty decent power level jumps. Now they're probably going to drop down to, like, the 1 to 2 level. They're going to be smaller.
Yeah.
So those won't be quite as much. They will decrease even further once you reach 720. Kind of the way certain things kind of creep up and then have less effect and less effect. So they always want you pushing on more of the new stuff. Prime attunements. So these are how you get your Prime engrams. One day, Prime attunements will be on day 1. Prime attunements will be reset to 2 charges for each character. So it doesn't matter if you've like haven't played for a week, feel like you have more saved up. When that server reset happens, everybody's on the same playing field.
Yes, sir.
So you'll receive 2 new Prime attunements, even if you were playing right up until the reset, which is cool. If it doesn't matter how much you have or haven't. Basically, they just said they want you to be able to play with your favorite character without, you know, impacting your power leveling strategy. So it's not going to matter which one better or not. So you'll be able to pick where you want. Crown of Sorrow raid. I know I've been talking a lot, so break this one down. I want to get into this one. This is the big stuff.
Yeah, this is the big one, man. So yeah, the Crown of Sorrow raid begins on day 1, Season of Opulence at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Players who want to complete will need to complete the the Power Surge quest. We've taken additional steps to level the playing field for World First status. And here is the big one. All player power will be capped at power under each encounter within the raid for the first 24 hours. So while contest is active, players will face an enforced challenge throughout the raid. This means power beyond certain levels will provide no advantage for a given fight. Example, for the first fight, all power above 700 won't provide advantage. And for the final fight, power above 720 will not provide an advantage. Woo! We got to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to
We're
deploy
coming
this
back.
update. The second part of this, we're going to hit this whole bullet. I just want to finish the second part of it. We're going to deploy this update at 8 a.m. Pacific, and the game will be down until 10 a.m. Pacific, so that as many players as possible can get through the download and verification step and be ready for Opulence launch. Shout out for helping the PlayStation community, because that was for PlayStation right there.
Yeah, the download and copy. So
yeah, that download copy. But we got to go back now. They just dropped some megatons on us, right?
Mhm.
And shout out to my article. I got it up right now, lordsofgaming.net. Check it out, man. This is huge, right? And this all, to me, and this is my synopsis of analyzing this thing, you know how I've complained about World's First. And it's been a thing where, let's be honest, a lot of the higher level guys, they have a lot of great strats, right? Holding on to bounties, holding on to prime attunements, knowing the correct sources where to go to. And I'm in the middle with this a little bit. I think overall, this is where I'm at with this, E. I like it. But it's different now, because there was a part of like that strategy of getting ready for a raid, and there's some aspect to it that I did enjoy, you know what I'm saying? But in the realm of fairness, I actually like it, because it's like, okay, we all want to be on the same level. Once you get, if I missed or whatever, you're 710 and I'm 705, we're on the same playing field when we jump in that first encounter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting. The only issue I may have, I want to see how this works, is all I'm thinking about is like Cali. Remember when we got Forsaken and we got to the Cali encounter, right? We got to see how hard these encounters are, right? That's the only thing that's going to see how this thing plays out. If these encounters are really tough and not DPS checks, you know what I'm saying? And if it's truly strategy, this could work. If it's DPS checks, then I get a little nervous if everyone's at this lower power level just for the sake of fairness, right? So that's the only gray area I want to see. But overall, my thoughts are, I think this does make it fair to the masses for people to coordinate, strategize, get in what they got to get to, and more chances for first day best team winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think this is closest to the best. You're going to get the best team, as opposed to, I held on to all my Iron Banner banners, and I held on to this, and you know what I'm saying? Like, all that's out. That's a wrap now. So I'm done rambling. I'm very curious. What do you think about the 24-hour lockdown? E, what you gonna do?
So, yeah, shout out to expand on that. We had Luke Smith, the rare treat of some words from the man towards the top of the world of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
He shouted out, and he just said, "Is like, they've gone through this crazy journey from Vault of Glass and different raids and pushing bosses off ledges and sword bearers." And just like reading that sentence, I was like, man, that's a lot of nostalgia in one like paragraph. But their goal with world first races are power progression that challenges raiders to climb to compete the world first, showcase team communication, game strategy, and power and player skill in a watchable and fair first race. And I think that is the most important one, is fair. They're trying to make this a level playing field for as many people as possible, because technically you could not power level at all, and you could still be on the same level as for that first encounter. Now, when you beat that first encounter, if you're 701 and somebody else is 710, now you're going to start to fall behind.
Now you're going to feel it.
So you got 6 hours. There's still benefits, and they're taking away like raid keys. Like, if you raid a ton and you have 25 raid keys and you just like do that multiple times, if you can just burn through it in 6 hours, you could do that. But it's like, so they're kind of taking some of that stuff away. There are some bounties to save, but I think the people who are trying will have a lot of bounties to turn in, because they'll have your 20, you'll do your Dreaming City stuff. Once you're done with that, you'll kind of hit those boxes, probably go run Shattered Throne with your 3s and rotate through that thing a couple times. But generally, like, there's only so much you're going to be able to do, and with the power capping, it is interesting, though, because I pulled up the TWAB from May 9th, and he says, Crown of Sorrow, June 4th, Recommended power for first encounter 715. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly wondering if some things changed in the past like 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, I
Because
think
like
so.
recommended power 715 and you're like in 6 hours that's already going to be tough, and two, you're capping us. So
Yeah,
we
facts.
literally can't get there now. So if you're saying you
Mm-hmm.
want us to be 715 but our power level won't matter
Matter
anything
at.
above 700, that's a change I think
But
in
let
the
me ask
past
you
like
this:
3 weeks or two.
with this change, do you think we get more than 3 encounters like Scourge? Because the vibe I'm getting, if they're doing this, to me, I'm just assuming
If you do 5 power
this.
level per each, I would see it.
Yeah, I could see that. To me, this
I could see
screams
4.
maybe more encounters, which I'm a fan of,
Yeah.
which I like. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. More encounter stuff. Shout out to Dramatic. He's also said he's thinking lots of mechanics, and I'm cool with that too. As long here's my the only thing though. Caveat: Leviathan's a good raid. It's a solid raid. My only issue is just not enough fighting. I don't want it all Ninja Warrior stuff, man. I don't want to be running around in a
Yeah.
hamster wheel for this guy. I don't want to be cleaning no more basements. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like running from dogs. At some point, let's get some
You want
bosses in
boss
there, man.
encounters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get that. Let's stick to last wish. That's some Cali action. We got to go up in Cali. You don't face. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You got one of the most. Shout out to Pyro because he actually said Shurochi is one of the most underrated encounters. I
Oh, it's
think
so cool. The time.
it's.
I was like, sometimes you may hate time limits, but what it does to that encounter is like the urgency, the need,
Oh.
working together, the communication. I got this. Shoot
Mhm,
these guys over here. Jump on the plates. Like
mhm.
there's some. Yeah, that Surochi fight is really really cool. It's a
Again,
well done fight.
encounters. If they could have, I think like if they balance maybe just one or two mechanic-y stuff, I'm cool, but you gotta let us fight. You know what I'm saying? We gotta fight more. That's what I'm just hoping with this raid. But I think that there may be a chance for more than one with this, light level stuff. But continue with the your prediction with the 700, 715, all that good stuff.
No, I mean
Mhm,
that's so you and then they phrase it kind of vague and specific at the same time.
mhm,
For the first fight, all power level above 700 won't provide an advantage, and
mhm,
for the final fight, power
mhm,
above 720 will not provide an advantage. So you're like, how
mhm.
many are in the middle? Is it one more in the
Yeah,
middle? Because you think
that's
of
the
Scourge,
question.
you've got the opening, you've got
Mhm,
the Sparrow run, and then you've got the
mhm,
2 phases of the final, which is really just the same area.
mhm,
Um,
mhm.
so in
Shout out to
this one,
Forte. He says, I think recommended power means the ideal level, but recommended power needs to be there after the
after,
24-hour
yeah,
race.
so
Yeah.
maybe that's kind of the idea, is like right now this is like this is gonna be the challenge for world's first.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
world's first, this is how
Then
it's
we
gonna
go
be
back.
spaced
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think so. I
but
think
yeah,
so.
if
Because
it
this way it gives everyone a fairer shot at trying it if they have mechanics down. If they have their mechanics down and do what they're supposed to do, everyone's more got a fair shot. So, yeah.
see, I was like, I don't know, and that's the whole kind of up and down I'm with you on, is like I don't
Hmm.
want the power level specifically. It's like when you were 29 or it's like when we were
Hmm.
32 and Kurta Hard
Hmm.
was 33.
Yeah.
Specifically just artificial difficulty by
Hmm.
number.
Yeah.
Those are some of those just things hit a little harder. You don't have
Hmm.
quite as much leeway. It's like, I don't know,
Hmm.
raids aren't meant to be hard, but it's like
Right.
it's literally above my level, so it's never a level playing field. So that's the same
Right.
thing. It's like if it's 700 and I'm fighting something 715, then if it's
Hmm.
720, am I fighting stuff that's like 735?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
and
going to
at
be the
that
key.
point, that's the part of it I wonder, is like if people make it through the first encounter, you're like, okay, maybe they burned
Hmm.
through in 6 hours, they got up to like 710, maybe
Hmm.
715. Okay.
Hmm.
Then you go through, you do encounter 1, encounter 2, you might get a couple
Hmm.
drops, 715, 716, 717. But if you
Hmm.
still make a 20 power leap at a minimum, probably to get to 735 or
Hmm.
740, where these bosses tend to end up is towards the higher end.
Hmm.
I mean, that's a good jump that a lot of people will not be able to
Right.
like make the leap, because if you're like, hey, I got to like 705, let's go check this thing out, and you get through a couple encounters, but then you get the
Hmm.
last one, you're like 735, like 30 power levels below 30 delta in this game is a lot when you're under
Yeah.
it.
It is. It
So
is. It's like I said. I've been a bit. I think overall it's just different, and
mhm.
I'm not used to it. But I don't think it's a bad thing because I think the other good thing part of it. Think about this though. E. Think about those screens for World First. Think about how many Twitch streams will be up
Oh
for
yeah.
this. We're not going to see the same 2 or 3 teams that had those good pre-power level strategy, power leveling strategies. So I think overall, what I'm saying? Again, the key is going to be, is it so difficult that it's going to frustrate people past the 24? And maybe that's where the 24-hour rule comes into play, where they say, you know what? That's their protection, that if it's too ridiculous, then like almost anti-division, right? Division is like, yo, you just got to do it because that's what it is.
Yeah, they literally said they're not changing it too.
We're going to get into division. So this is actually cool because it's a one-day thing. After 24 hours, you got your grind, you got your pot. Things are going to be enforced. I'm coming around on it, E. I'm coming around. I think the 24 hour is the key. 24 hours, yes, because if it would stay like this, like how division is doing it, we don't care. You better. Then people are gonna get mad. Like, yo, I can't beat this. This is insane. You're not giving me the power jump that I need. I'm at 7, whatever, and it's not having any effect. But this is like an Iron Man thing. Like, yo, tough it out. Whoever gets it, gets it. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be that's set difficulty. I mean, I don't know if they'll do anything quite as crazy as the vault, because that was. That was insanity to watch for like 6 hours. People were just like, what does it mean? So, I mean, the encounters could be interesting, but yeah, when you get to the top, and I mean, as Vagabond said, raids are meant to be a challenge, and they will be. And I think this is the point where whatever testing they have done, they have chosen specific power levels, specific difficulties, where if you are on your game, hitting your shots, staying alive, and playing smart, you will be able to succeed. It's just going to be real hard at the top, because that last fight, if you can be 720 to fight something 735, 740, you're going to be damn near one of the top.
Yeah,
if you can be 720 in that final fight room, you are going to be one of the top people, I think, because 6 hours is not that long to then start bashing your head against mechanics.
Yes.
Because, like, you have 6 hours between 3 characters, and if you can be like, okay, so I got some drops in here, okay, move some weapons over, same thing, and then RNG factoring in, 712, 710 is kind of my guess where people are going to be. Somehow, some people are probably going to end up at like 719 and be like, how the hell did you do that? I don't know. But but the average raid group is probably going to be somewhere in that 715 realm, I have a feeling, facing that final encounter. And that's going to be tough. They think it's possible. They've tested it out. So I know they're going to be able to do it. But yeah, that difficulty, that force challenge for that first day will make the people who get it, like, it's going to be interesting. This will be a very fun one to watch.
This is a fun one to watch. Shout out to Forte. He's making a good point. He said, I think the new raid will be set up like, what's SOTP?
Scourge of the Past.
Okay, there we go. 4 total encounters. Plus, they may leave room to bring back challenge mode again. Normal mode caps out at 740. Prestige is 75. That's a possibility. That is a possibility. I don't mind 4 encounters, but is it me, E, or does like, have you done Scourge at all? Is it me, or is it just like, still kind of, shut up. It's like, it feels raid layer-ish.
No.
You don't feel it, so?
Okay, the main reason I don't feel like it's a raid lair, because that it's completely on different space. It may be so you're defining raid lair by length, not by location.
Right.
So that's what you're thinking. And to me, raid lair that you used to always say is like apartment 2B. Like basement apartment or tower apart, like, penthouse apartment, but it's still going back to the same location, even though we're in different pieces of content. It was Fallen content, and now we're in the Fallen raid. Like, so that was like, Blacksmith, you had all those pieces. Like, it was tied to it to a point. But I
just feel like it's still like, I don't know, something about that raid that it just feels, I guess, you know what it is too, there's no narrative connection coming off of Forsaken. I mean, Last Wish.
Yeah, those are completely separate. Yeah,
that definitely disconnected me. Like, I just need, see, the reason why I'm excited for Opulence, this is why I'm excited. Even though it's Leviathan again, yeah, no doubt, but it's callous. It's what's the source of this power. There's a story. There's an intrigue. You want to know what this is.
Does this quest mission have story?
Depending on what the power surge body is. But one would assume, based on Leviathan, right? When you ended and the whole speech and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I need that emotional connection to why I'm doing said activity.
Yep.
I thought we solved this with Last Wish, right? Last Wish starts up, Petra starts talking to you, you feel away, you get inside, Riven starts talking to you, tricking you, doing the let's go, Bungie. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So they're talking a lot about Opulence. Let's be real. Like they've been, for Opulence, we're doing this. For Opulence, we're doing that. We're nerfing that. We're doing this. Like, I need some information. I need to know what's the crown of sorrow. Get me invested. Have him start. And let's be honest, he started talking. He talked all through Leviathan for the most part. Yeah. I can't say so much about Eye of the whatever and whatever of the star,
Spire of Stars,
Spire of Star, whatever that Ray layers. You know how I feel about them. But at least Leviathan was a start. Hopefully, if they can conclude it narratively strong, I'll be okay. But like Forte, like Scourge felt Crota-ish. It felt like 3 rooms with a spiral race Crota. Between.
Damn it.
Yeah, Crota. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all got revisionist history about how hot this raid was.
Okay, I heard some people talking about Crota. So let me say this about Crota.
Let's get to it.
The opening of Crota is really cool.
Yeah, it's nice. It's cool thematically. It's cool. It's cool.
Like,
I ain't going for it.
That's where it's like, when you think of a raid, you have to think of all-encompassing of what is it supposed to feel like. It's a hive raid. They're crazy, creature, animalistic, and you have these things running at you the entire time. These little things, it's all about time, this rush. Then you have the hive, the sword logic. You have the sword that you use to cross, and you hold down your side, and you're going back, and that was like some cool mechanics. And then you have like the hero moments in there as well. That I probably have a special spot because one of my other buddies, that was my 2-man flawless raid. That's how I got my platinum in Destiny 1. Was 2-man flawless, that raid. And we did it in the course of actually a day, which is crazy. But like Crota has a special spot because like you have a raid like Vault of Glass that is like time and Vex and all teleporting and stuff like and it fits the Vex very, very well. You have the Hydra, you have like the oracles pinging all over the place, and this is like a more puzzle that you have to figure out. The Hive is just like, what are the Hive? Like they're always like running at you, and like the captains, even though they're big weenies, like they had such different feels. And shout out to Bungie to capture such different like tones and feels within 2 activities that are meant to be raids, but they feel so different. And I thought that was really, really cool. So like Crota may get some crap because like, pulling the plug or whatever, but it's like when you run it right and you do it like when you...
2 rooms.
And what?
It's 2 rooms.
No, it's not.
It's so small, bro. You just sort across the thing. Let me tell y'all why y'all like this stupid raid. We're going to get at Crota now. I'm tired of all this. Crota. Y'all just like it because y'all could solo it. That's all it is. You single guys with your heroic moments, so you can say, "Look at me, I'm
not
the guy."
Only reason. I just listed off a bunch of things.
That's all y'all reason why y'all like that damn raid. It is short. It's like 2 rooms. Come on, bro. That raid is overrated. The hottest part about that raid is the theatrics of getting the sword. The music hits. All right, everybody, go in the corner, Galahorn it out. And then it's over. And the weapons, I will say, salute to the weapons. Crota weapons
had
were hot.
Some of the best rewards.
Crota weapons are hot. I'll give you that. Okay. But let's not act like this raid was so... It's just the guys that could solo it was like, oh, this is cool. And hunters that use swords across a bridge. I'm like, this raid is...
No,
when you
were taking people through there, be like, okay, follow. Okay, we're going two lanterns in. Way to explore. Okay, everybody's good. Okay, run. Like... If you were really running with a team and you did it well, it felt really good.
Bro, let me tell you my experience with Crota, how easy this raid. Dude told me, do you have Galahorn? Yes. Stay in the corner and shoot Galahorn while I do this sword.
That was an issue with Galley.
I got drops. All I needed was a rocket with tracking, and I got drops all through this raid. I literally contributed nothing. It was the ultimate... Throw somebody in the backpack. You know it, and you know it. I'm saying the truth.
I'm just saying, though, like, when played right, it was a lot of fun. It's one of those, like, it was the start. We wouldn't have King's Falls feel without Crota.
I don't know about that. Well, storyline. Yeah,
that's my point. Yeah, the story. Yeah, you don't have
story.
Crota dying and being smashed, and Oryx being, "You killed my son. I'm pissed." Like, and that feel, and then you get into all the Taken and everything. So it was like it was just, yeah. The bridge was like the bridge trying to figure that thing out for the first time was nuts. Like, okay, so run across, build the bridge. How long do we sit here? How do we survive? Holy crap! Now there's 3 people on their side. We're split, and there's a lot of stuff spawning over here. Like, the when that encounter is done well, and the way it's built for, not cheesing it, and Galahorn breaking encounters. I'm just saying, like, when you take the raid for what it's intended to be, not the way you're gonna cheese the crap out of it, because you can cheese Riven now too, and that's a very, very different encounter.
You got like 5 amazing encounters prior.
Oh, I'm not saying you don't, and I'm not saying Last Wish isn't one of the best raids ever. I'm just saying Crota gets a lot of crap, and I don't think it should get as much of a dumpster like as it gets. So,
like I said, I mean, I just this raid. It's just interesting to me to see how much people love it the way they do. I mean, I would still say the majority probably agrees with me as far as the ranking of where Crota is, but it's interesting that people who love it, like yourself, like the Pyros and stuff like that, it's interesting to hear y'all like revere about this raid. And I'm like, literally, I sat in the corner and shot Galahorns and it was over. Like, it was like there was nothing. This one guy, look at me, I got my jersey, sword, all right, guys, shoot him now. I did it. To me, it's the ultimate, like, self-gratifying single-player raid.
I was like, the solo stuff was cool because you could do that, but it was also the point to where it felt really cool to be the sword bearer, not the galley guy on the back.
Absolutely,
when you were the sword bearer, you were like, the whole raid team is on my shoulders. I have to clutch up now. And that was like, and there are certain moments they've gotten away from. Yeah, me.
Well, I know what you mean. But you are right, though. I'll give you this. You're right in only this portion of mechanics with a solo guy being able to save the encounter. That I give you. They've gone away from that. They don't allow people to, like, before, like, it was like now in Destiny raids, like if one person wipe, you're screwed. All right, everybody, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Most, one person, like, they allowed you to continue because of that mechanic. So in that sense, I gotta hold on. He says, sorry, or Forte, sorry, I don't like Voted Glass is 3rd best raid. King, wait, hold on. He got King 4-1.
Wrath.
Wait.
Forte's about to start some stuff.
You're about to get booted. We're going to put you on timeout.
Hey, this is my Twitch.
Had the audacity to say that Volta Glass is the 3rd best raid, and you don't even have Last Wish above it? If you would have said Last Wish, I might have let you slide. King's Fall is debatable. Wrath of the Machine is one of my favorite raids. It's fun, but let's not act like that's better than Vault of Glass, the immortal, the legendary Volta. And let me shut down your Wrath of the Machine real quick, because as much as I love that raid, we fought the cable guy. I call him the cable guy. The guy that comes out in the front when you throw the dodge. We fought him twice in the raid. Fought that same guy twice.
Vasic.
So that, exactly. That's automatic deduction of points. You fought the same dude. So that's out of there. King's Fall, I give you. If you like a hardcore raid, like a man's raid, I'll give you that. That's just tomato stuff.
Or a woman's raid. Tomato.
Whatever. So at the end of the day, but don't you dare disrespect Guardians have changed their fate. Are you crazy? The Gorgon? Are you kidding me? Some of the best weapons ever in raid history outside of Crota? Are you kidding me? We ain't gonna have this Volta Glass standard. We ain't gonna do it. We ain't gonna do it, Game of 14. I was liking you. You messed up today.
Now I will say in your world of this is where I'll say you're wanting
rose-colored. Oh, we gotta stop the podcast. Rose-colored. Are you kidding me? We gonna have to do a poll. Let me explain.
Okay, no, hold on. Let me ask you this question before you even do anything else.
I'm about to go in. What's up?
Was Vault your first raid?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's not rose-colored glasses because it's my first.
No. That is going to be an experience, no matter what game you experience your first raid in. Like me, Molten Core in World of Warcraft has a special place. Like and I'm not taking down Vault of Glass. I'm not saying
there's a different. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do this.
No, I'm not.
There's a difference.
Can I finish?
Let me finish my point, and then I'll get you back. Because we ain't going to do this. Here's the thing. There's a difference between seeing something for the first time and being enamored. It still has to be good. That's the thing.
And I never said it wasn't.
Right.
That was my point.
So what I'm trying to say is, yes, there's always going to be a nostalgia because it was the first, but it had to be good. If it's not good, it's not going to be memorable. I can name 3 to 4 encounters in that raid which were amazing that still haven't really been done. The time splitting, the actually Leviathan bit hiding from something. You know what I'm saying? Like when they did the dogs, that's literally Gorgon on the next level. You had the jumps. Come on, like even the initial start. Y'all talk about coolness with how Crow to start, right? Oh, this is cool. We jump down. What you call it's cool? You have to build the spire. People hold down the spot. 3 people hold down the spot. It was very. I'm going to say the word. It was iconic for its time. Nothing at that time in gaming, in console gaming, was doing that. So that's what I got to say. That's why I'm not going to allow the slander. So continue. Now I'm done interrupting.
No, I was just going to say, anybody's first encounter is going to have a special spot. Like me, I picture the first time going through Vault of Glass, working together is cool, but I'm also sitting there in my mind comparing, and I'll always compare this game to World, because that was a 40-person raid, and you want to talk about communication, roles, healers, tanks, like DPS, like watching so much going on, like that's to a whole different level of things that like we've still never touched. But I was like, for a first raid on console, like they built something, shout out to Division, having some, they built it tough but balanced, tough but fair type on normal, like, because you did that at like what, 26 type? Yeah. So I mean, you think of the encounters, so you're like, how many bosses did you have in Vault? You had 2.
You got our guy. You had our what's his face? Spinny guy. Technically 3. Technically. We're gonna be technical. You can't disrespect the Gorgon. We can't disrespect. Come on.
Disrespect what?
Can't disrespect the Gorgon.
That's not a boss.
He was if he saw you.
That's not a boss. That's a wipe encounter. That's a wipe mechanic. That's not a boss.
You can kill it.
That's not a boss. It doesn't have a specific name.
But it was an encounter.
I'm saying encounter, not boss. Difference.
Okay.
That's all I was saying.
So we're subtracting points because it wasn't a thematical boss.
No, I'm saying number of bosses in Vault.
Okay.
Versus number of bosses in other raids isn't a big argument because there are encounters.
Right.
They're not boss fights.
Okay.
There's a difference. So that's what I'm saying, like, that piece. Now, the rewards in Vault were one of the best because you had Fatebringer. You had, what was that damn scout rifle?
Oh my God.
Vision of Confluence.
Vision of Confluence.
Vex.
We gonna talk about the legendary Vex Mythic class.
See, I never really got to enjoy that. Thing took me way too long and it was gone.
Oh my God. In its prime, Bungie had to put a stop to that. it was just so dominant, bro. Then we had the epilogue. We had the machine gun that was really beastie too, when you fighting the Oracle fight.
Epilogue.
Oh my God, so many legendary weapons. You know what I'm saying? It's just iconic. I can't. And like I said, the last boss fights, people are really underrating the whole Atheon joint. That was an amazing mechanic. The splitting of the 2 teams into 3, each with a specific role, and you got to fight your way back through time to come back to unite as a 6 to get that. Bro, that was iconic. That music, are you kidding me? That was amazing. Amazing. We're not going to disrespect, bro. It's not about just, oh, it was nostalgic. It was the first, and I have rose-colored glasses. My glasses got rose because it was the first. No, it was great. Like, literally, like, the game, let's be real. Also, with the history of Destiny, if that thing didn't exist in the fashion it was, most people wouldn't even stick around for Destiny. All right? Most people wouldn't even stick around. They'd have been like,
this is what Forte is doing to you right now. Forte is just prodding you and poking you right now.
Yeah, no, because I've been hearing this, like, people trying to slander it. The only 2 raids that you can put next to my Vault, right? And I will not argue with you. And I will say, you know what? Tomato, is Taken King. If you say Taken King is your best raid, Cognito leaves you alone. You know what? You like a true challenge, boss fights, get that to you. You know what I'm saying? If you say Last Wish, I'm like, you know what? As a complete raid, can't knock it. It's up there, up echelon. The reason why Wrath is described, and mind you, Wrath is my most fun raid. I had the most fun playing Wrath But the reason why Wrath is automatically disqualified, one, because like I said, the encounter itself was short. It's the fact that you fought the same guy, Voxix or whatever his face. Now, I will give you the end. Love the end part. That was amazing. I love the mechanics, jump on his back, do all the stuff, cool music, great rewards. I will give that. And what was that thing in the middle? You had the siege machine in the middle. That's it. But other than that, it is what it is. He could say whatever he liked, but we could do the poll. You're not going to slander this vaulted glass. It's the GOAT. It is the GOAT. All right? That's it. Discussion's over. And now, Forte, you're not invited on the show anymore. I love you, bro.
Forte, what have you done?
Mm-hmm.
We went off the rails there just a little bit.
Shouldn't have did it.
Forte,
we're back on point, though.
Forte woke the beast.
Now we can continue about Crown of Sorrows, as we were saying.
So I was like, but I mean, it's like not all raids are going to be created equal, same intention or otherwise. And you have people of different mentality saying, hey, some things get too long. They like an experience of like Scourge, if you have a decent group, can be done very quickly, but you still get to experience something like you get to experience a really cool set of encounters. You have the Sparrow run. You get to like coordinate with your team and things like that. There are cool pieces to every raid. And I'm just honestly curious to see what this one has. I'd love to see the four piece, four encounters, 3 bosses would be nice. I'm with you. I do want boss fights because you think of like, hey, let's open the door. Okay. Let's go through this maze. Okay. Let's open the vault. Let's, play, Ninja Warrior, whatever it is you're going to do. Like those are cool encounters of survival and mechanics, but the survival and mechanics, that's why like King's Fall is a hard one for me to beat because you had so many bosses. You had the War Priest. You had Golgoroth, which is still one of the best fights ever.
I won't fight you, bro. I won't fight you.
I was like, you had the Daughters, you had Oryx, you had the maze, like there, and you had the tower. You had like 6 encounters in that one.
Facts. And the reason why I won't even fight you, if anybody that came at me with that, is because let's be real. When we first saw Oryx, bro.
That's like one of the best. That's one of the best moments in Destiny.
Like I was just like, yo, like and just did the mechanics, and then that was an amazing raid. Yeah, that was an amazing raid. I do now. The only knock though, if I'm a nitpick, just nit for my vault. I gotta nitpick. I gotta hold it down for vault. Is them weapons is trash.
Sniper, I was like, no, believe me,
trash.
Hand cannon sucked. Auto rifle sucked. Pulse rifle was good. Sniper was good. Machine gun was good. Those 3 were good.
Machine gun was the best. Was it Quillum's?
Quillum's Terminus. That was that was everybody's gun for like 2 years. Sniper was solid. Also, a lot of people really like that. Now, it introduced one of the best mechanics we ever had. The auto reload. Put it away and just come back.
Oh, yeah, but then they gave it to everything. Cocoon. That Cocoon was on that thing.
Cocoon came later. But yeah, that was something I was just like, I didn't know how much I would appreciate that until I had it.
What was the scout? Something of Chalice? Something.
Doom of Chelchis or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Like
probably not saying it right. That actually wasn't a bad scout.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
But no, the auto rifle was awful. The worst. And the hand cannon was somehow worse than that. Both of those were so terrible.
And why the guns all look the same?
Yeah,
the guns it was like a reskin of every gun.
But I mean, like that was a very very thematically focused look. Like they all came out of. But I mean, it's like the Taken, King, Dreadnought. They all where those weapons came from. It's not like, hey, I found this one on EDZ. No, that thing came from the Dreadnought. So I mean, they were thematically focused. But yeah, there were some couple really trash ones in there.
Yeah, again, I'm just nitpicking because that raid's amazing.
Yeah, and that's honestly, that one and Last Wish are probably the 2 longest raids of everything. They're even longer. That's longer than Vault by encounters because King's Fall had open the door, then you had the War Priest, then you had Golgoroth, then you had the Maze, then you had the Daughters, then you had Oryx. So that's the difference where some people will get into
2 jumping puzzles. 2 jumping puzzles too, because you had the spaceship.
Oh, I forgot about the wall. I'm not saying it.
I'm not going to say the wall. I say anything sexual on the podcast, I get in trouble, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know.
I try and keep it reasonable on here. If I go mark our audio podcast, I don't have to click mature. But That's true. Like, took the elemental power away from primary weapons. That's see there. I mean, everything has their ups and downs too. But it's like for length of encounters, like, and some people are like, "Hey, do you want to go run King's Fall, or do you want to run Last Wish?" And some people are like, "God, that could take a long time." So there are and that's your agreement right there, saying sometimes the shorter, not the layers, but like a Scourge, a whatever.
That's where Wrath comes up. Yeah, that's where Wrath comes up. I don't put Wrath over, but yeah.
Like, that's when it's like, depending on what you want in that moment, is some people want it to be a shorter but more full encounter. Like, full mechanics and bosses and stuff like that, but not, let's go run King's Fall. All right, babe, I'll talk to my wife in like 3 hours and skip dinner. Like,
that was a time investment.
Yeah, so I mean, that's why they've had these shifts of like huge content Forsaken drop, big giant raid, smaller content. Okay, here's another raid you can do. It's smaller for us to build, but it's small also for people to like be able to run it more, pull more people through, it's not a crazy long investment of time. So that's why I was like, I don't hold the length always against it.
Me neither.
So that's what
I just want Wrath of Machine level fun and length. Like, if they can give us Wrath of Machine level,
that'd be cool.
Scourge, again, and we just got to get connection to the content. We have to get connection to Callus. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I know we're going off on a super tangent. This is like point
extra
crazy,
long
right?
point, yeah,
extra long point. But it's just one of those things I wanted to talk about because this got the potential to really be something nice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With Callus, we all want to know, what is the Crown of Sorrow? What is this power he wants to help us with? And I just want some storyline aspect to it. They do that, I'm good, man. I really am.
So yeah, giant raid tangent out of the way. But yeah, honestly, like, it's gonna be interesting to see how the power caps go. Raid race might have more people involved because the people have less required time off. So like, if you're going to be like, hey, I'm going to take off 2 days, I'm not going to take off 3 and then the weekend or all these things. It's just like, now, granted, it's in the middle of the week. Some point I wish they would release a raid on like Saturday at like 10 o'clock. Just like have the weekend to work on it. You can do your play during the week or something. Like, that'd be kind of cool, but they never seem to do things then. But honestly, I'm really curious to see how it goes. It should. I mean, there's still skilled raiders like Sweatcicle and Glad. That team of Redeem is like, they have a mindset to work on those things and pick apart puzzles and figure it out. And that's skill on a whole different level. That level's not going to matter. And now we're really going to find out: is it the power leveling talents? Is it the skills, or is it both? So
no, I agree, and that's why I can't wait to see who actually gets this jacket. Whoever get, no disrespect to past winners, this jacket to me is gonna mean a ton more. You know what I mean? I want to see who pulls it off.
So yeah, raid will be interesting, and we also have another change coming next season. Yeah. So we've got Eververse getting a little bit of a tweak, overhaul of the store. So with Season of Opulence, we're having some changes to Eververse. Now, before we get into Eververse and listen to DCP last night, shout out to them and what we've said too. If Eververse gets an overhaul, but the vendors are still the same, sad face. That's one of those things that has been missed for so long, of like going in on weekly reset and seeing like, hey, what are the rolls on, what was that hand cannon that the Crucible robot sold every so often that was like occasionally a god roll?
Oh, was it Palindrome?
Yes, like that. Yeah, so like stuff like that, when you log in, it's like all you check is the director and Eververse. Like, my weekly reset gets shorter and shorter. It's like, you can do your Nightfalls and this stuff. It's like, and they haven't hit those vendor resets in so long. And I honestly am not holding on my breath that's going to happen this season. I'm not. But whatever comes next, that has to really be a thing. If it's not D3 and that's more RPG mechanics and stuff D3. Later. No, but like fall, that needs to start happening again. Be like, have different gear, have different roles, like have a set that rotates have some of those things be an option. Like, you can have just random like algorithms to be like, I don't know, throw armor up there and throw a set of perks on it. And you got to be level 10 to pick it all up. And there's a different gun every week and different perks. You have random, like, each vendor could have that, and then you have more benefit. We've talked about set bonuses, and now I wish there was like, hey, I go to Titan and there's like a Hive set, and I go to EDZ and there's a Fallen set. Like, there's many things they could do, and this is where I think the set bonus of Season of the Drifter was like testing the waters and stuff. I hope to see more, but like, if Eververse gets this type of overhaul and the vendors, it's just like, man, I know Eververse is there, and like some things seem to be positive out of this update, but don't forget about the rest of your guys. Like, there's a lot of vendors out there that are just like, I have been staring at this inventory for 2 years.
Yeah, like, bro, can we get some loves and get some usage for some of these vendors? And yo, what's up with Faction Rally, fam?
Yeah,
come on.
That's Faction. I mean, I'm not even going to bring up the other one, the sore subject, but Faction 2 is like, yeah, I don't know.
So many things. Like Fall, I'm gonna have questions. Fall, I need to see something. Because Opulence is the last part, and then I'm gonna be quiet. Yeah. Opulence.
Till we know. Yeah. Because we don't. So we have 2 main goals for the changes we're making to Eververse for Season of Opulence. Direct pick. Every new Eververse item in Season of Opulence will be now this is where I have a question of how this works. Every new Eververse item in Season of Opulence, as long as they follow that language, will be available for direct purchase via Silver or Bright Dust. That's huge if that holds, because the picture doesn't look like that. But if that works that way, that is really, really cool, because spending time and playtime, you are not required to buy Silver.
Right.
There's no like, hey, here's a bundle that's Silver only. Like, that was kind of like, well, I mean, what is it this week? The old fighter Sparrow guy. Most of these offers will be limited time, which I'm okay with the Bright Dust, with new items available weekly. Kind of gives it a fresh rotation. Greatest hits. Season of Opulence Bright Engrams will contain a collection of community favorite legacy items with a focus on the best of year 1. If you missed out on Spicy Ramen or Selfie, Season of Opulence is your chance. So bringing back some old favorites, bringing some new stuff in. Here's where I wonder if there's a distinction. Every new Eververse item in Season of Opulence, if the old ones are still going to be like Silver only bundles, I'll be curious if that's how they make that distinction. So, some additional details. Armor. Full armor sets will be made available as a single per class bundle, as opposed to being offered via Bright Engrams. What do you think about that right there? First, before I go any farther. Full bundle of armor set. You just buy the armor set. You want to look like that? Buy it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because, like, I used to miss stuff like that. I would love that for when the Dawning was, because I love that set. You know what I mean? And just having to play RNG and all them games just to get every single part. So yeah, if you like a set, go get it. Like that bundle thing, dope. Love it.
And then, hold on one second. OMG. Sorry. I was trying to multitask there. So that's actually cool. Just buy the bundle. No like RNG question mark situation. Like, and the nice thing is you'll know all the perks, because individual armor pieces can be purchased for Bright Dust whenever they appear on storefront. So you'll be able to get certain pieces. These armor pieces feature fixed perk rolls that are not randomized across duplicates. So you can either buy the full set or you can go for the random rolls. But if you get one, you have it. So if you just want to be like straight up first day buying that set, cool. What if it's got decent perks on it? Could be cool.
There you go.
And I was like, they're probably not going to be OP, but I don't imagine seeing like enhanced perks on there. Let's just say that.
Yeah, clearly, because they'll get killed. You know, people be like, oh, the videos will come out, microtransactions, they're giving fun, fair advantage. No. You know that. You know they know not to.
It's just like, it's going to be set, might be trash rolls, but yeah. And this is that right there is why they desperately need transmog. Because if I'm like, buy a straight set and I want to look like this, and I'm just like, cool, I want to look like this all the time. Bought it, done. Apply visual effect, done. Like, that's when that needs to come in there.
Yeah, especially with the Prime Engram system, the attunement system, and having to just always look disgusting just for the sake of light level. Like, that is frustrating. So to have transmog, and the perks, you're right. You're absolutely right.
A simpler interface. Specific items are now featured on the front page when we cycled each week. Most offers will be time limited to make their way for rotating inventory. Some come back into rotation at a later date. Players can access this new interface by visiting Tess in her usual tower location. So if you guys go to the TWAB, you can see it's a pretty cool picture. You've got Eververse on the left, the featured stuff, what you can buy for Bright Dust, whether it's a Sparrow, an ornament, a shader. You got the weekly offerings, which will be the limited, whether it's a couple emotes. They've got a couple multiplayer ones, ornaments. You got this crazy sparrow, which looks like it's from the future, from Tron. And then just buying some bright engrams. And you've got other stuff on the left-hand side. So it's more of a menu to actually go through, which is kind of cool. So
yeah,
if they, and that's my question, it says weekly offerings, and those show all silver, but it also is like everything can be bought for silver or bright dust. So I don't know if you click on it and you pick how you want to buy it or something. I'll be curious how that's implemented, if there's anything that is pure silver only, because the way you read that statement, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
The other piece is wrapped items and refunds, which is a rare treat. Individual items purchased for silver will now go to the relevant character inventory as a wrapped state. Example, a sparrow purchased directly will arrive wrapped in the sparrow inventory. To use an item, it must be opened, just like a bundle. Once opened, the item functions and can be used, but also not returned. So if you buy it and you're like, you can undo it as long as you don't open the package. Like, if all tags are on your product and is in original condition, you can return within 90 days. No, I'm just kidding. Sounds like a storefront. So, but these little pictures down here are actually pretty cool. So you've got what looks like kind of like a ghost shell with like 2 little camping bags on the side. You've got a couple ghost projections, a couple ornaments look cool. The Siva Hunter ones look pretty cool. So
yeah, I like those. That one looks really cool.
Yep. And other than so Eververse will just, I'll be curious how it looks. I know they say all the new stuff should be purchasable with bright dust or silver. I still feel like there's going to be some stuff that is just silver only because I just have a hunch, but we will see. But there's one more piece of this TWAB that is probably the most important of everything.
Go for it.
It's the final section. So, and Deej wrote this one, by the way. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah.
And in proper Deej fashion, the vague wonders of what will come in the future. He's damn good at it.
Yeah, he's good.
These are some of the game changers you will discover when Season of Opulence begins. But we have even more to show next week. We're already working on a preview of new pinnacle weapons, which will be showed. We've seen a preview of the new raid jacket that is totally awesome. With the finer points for the systematic changes on table, we can next turn our attention to revealing the places you'll go and the reasons you'll fight. That's Opulence. Right now our focus is Opulence. But after the season has launched and raid belts have been awarded, we'll be looking deeper into the future and sharing with you more about a new era for Bungie and Destiny 2 specifically. Buckle up and stay tuned.
Holler.
So obviously Season of Opulence is the focus. Next week we get pinnacle weapons and buffs and patch preview and stuff like that. So there's one part of that line, and Deej is very specific about his word choice. He always is.
Oh, he's the master.
Sharing you with more about our new era for Bungie and Destiny 2. Not 3.
Not 3.
Not any, in the future of Destiny as a franchise as a whole, and just the franchise of Destiny 2. So if 3 is in the works, what everybody thinks it is, they're not talking about that. So we talking about fall, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, the vibe I'm getting is they look like they're staying on track with what they normally do. The difference is, obviously they've never had this is the first time they're having summer content, so to speak, with this annual pass having Opulence come out and around the time it's coming out. So the vibe I'm getting is they're going to be utilizing this to speak about the next thing in the fall. And the question just becomes, when is that next thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've always had that discussion based on what else exists in September. So, yeah, we got to see. But it looks like the vibe I'm getting, look like they kind of, they're still on track with what they're going to do. So,
yeah,
we shall see.
So, you sit there and you look at dates of when things like the pins that stop going on sale, August 31st. Okay. Weekly resets. It's through September 1st or 2nd. So Tuesday would be September 3rd.
Right, which is another, that's the date of said Borderlands 3.
September 13th. So it's 10 days. You got Monster Hunter, which they probably really don't see as true competition.
Yeah, I don't think
even though it's fun. It's on Friday. But Borderlands is probably their biggest threat.
That's the big one.
So, do you as Bungie, and that's kind of one of those things where some people will take the two games in different ways.
Yeah.
Borderlands has New Game Plus. You can go through it again and again, but you're looking at something to where you technically, and not a lot of people, they'll be like, hey, I played Borderlands. Maybe I went through it on a different character, but at some point, Borderlands, for more often than you're crazy dedicated, will be a start to finish path.
Right.
So that's a point to where, say, hey, Bungie comes out, there's this new thing. Now, I don't think it'd be smart to launch a raid on the 13th, like 10 days after they did Last Wish. That wouldn't be smart, because it'd be like, well, you guys suck. But also launching quick would be kind of an issue, because then you make people burn through new content. So, man, I don't know. September 3rd is when we don't know what the next reset. That's the next weekly reset, and we're like, the hell comes next?
Right. It's a tough one. You got to, No, continue.
No, go. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking in my head of like...
Vagabondo's going to accuse me of talking too much.
No. I think I filled up the first half. You're okay.
All right, cool. Let me make my quota. Listen, if they're going to do it, they look, based on Deej's language, and we're assuming it seems that they're not backing down. So if we're not going to back down, then we got to be strategic. So this is what I propose. We know that you said the 12th, right? Or the 13th is when Borderlands is coming out.
13th is Borderlands. Yep.
So we know Opulence launches with their raid at the same time. If you really want to get gangster, you could drop on the 17th and say, okay, 13th comes, it's the hype cycle. 17th, we try to take some people away. We get the fever of a raid. If they continue on point with this, if Opulent strategy is a success, right? If Crown of Sorrows is a success, and this day one raid thing becomes a thing, then they're gonna have a trump card whenever the launch of the next content is. Because if let's just say they have a Forsaken level style, well, not exactly, but close to, right? A bigger first chunk of annual pass, if we're assuming they continue with annual pass structure, right? But the rumors are that this first piece of annual pass will be substantial, more than usual, right? Almost to mimic a comet. If they do that, and if they do first day raid, right? You got a serious weapon, because the community is going to galvanize that release date. So everybody's like, yo, new joints out. We got to get ready. Community is going to get, especially if it's good and it's some good content. Let's say they go to Savathun. They start giving us feels of things that we wanted. I'm not going to get excited and say trials, but let's just say there's other activities, right?
That's your trump card.
Let's just say that all the stuff we've been complaining, because literally that's all they got to do, let's be honest, right? SRL, trials, faction rallies, solid raid, solid story, new strikes,
vendor updates.
Like
if it's this is where we get to that debate. It's like, how much can they squeeze into September? Like,
they give me damn 2 strikes, bro. They can give me 2 strikes. Bro, I don't want to hear about it.
I know. Believe me.
They give me story mission. You give me 2 strikes, right? Yeah. Give me 2 strikes of story. Give me some vendor rate refreshes. Give me hit if it's not hint at some new activity. That sounds cool. You throw all that with the hype of a day one last wish kind of raid.
I don't think you can do day one raid.
I think if it's a success though,
I don't think you can do that for something that as big as you want, though. This is an annual pass, like, extension of the year. This isn't like a new story. You can't ask people to burn through story in 6 hours and just completely That's why I really. No, but there's no story. There's one little baby quest that's probably like an invitation to the 9.
Possibly, we're gonna see.
But that's why, like, I don't know. Like, if you... But it's like, I mean, what would the power level be? Like, I don't think they're going to be like, hey, this is a 50 power level bump for, a September piece.
It's interesting,
I
man.
don't think they can do a day one raid in September. I really don't. Like, I'm not saying if it works, like it's not a good idea, but I think it works in this situation
Let me. Okay.
of an annual pass because if you have a bigger piece of like, hey, couple strikes, you've got new crucible maps, you've got some story missions, like if all the other stuff is still there, I don't even know if people would do any of that stuff unless required by like, hey, you have to make it through the story to open the raid. But I was like, you ruin the content. We've always said like it sucks when they make us burn through stuff. That's why the 10 days for Last Wish was long and the grind was long and people got, extra high by abusing stuff. And if they just like see, I think they could power cap it. I think that'd be the thing. I think they could give you more time, not day one. But if they power cap the raid and be like, hey, day one raid race, we're all starting at 8:15. I don't know. Pick a random ass number, but pick a number where you're like, you're power capped. If you're above that, cool. But everybody's fighting this stuff over. So they set the difficulty. That would be a way I think they could pick the time to release and be like, where do we want to like strategically position to be like, hey, you played Borderlands over the weekend, come back to the raid on Tuesday, like the 17th, as you said, to be like, now I'm going to poke back a little bit with our raid. So I think that would be, I don't think they can do a day one race for a brand new piece of content. That's my opinion.
Normally I completely agree. I still think they can do what you're saying. That would be par for the course. That would be what they normally do. I'm very curious to see engagement with Opulence because I'm very curious to see if the community is galvanized by the content, if they're galvanized by this world's first restructure. They're making it a point, E. I mean, we're getting a whole TWAB on this raid power leveling. When I see that type of stuff from Bungie historically, this is the new direction they're going. So and let's be real, like what we hear is fall is another season pass setup, annual pass setup. So does it make things accelerated and fast? To blaze through content. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's not. Is it ideal? Probably not. But I'm just concerned if they have success with what they're doing right now, and this seems to be the direction they're going, that they may bring this bad boy right on back and say, hey, maybe we give you 2 days, maybe you launch Tuesday, go Friday, and do one of them type deals. Maybe they do that and extend it to that level.
3 days.
But yeah, that is as far. I don't see it. Put it this way, my gut tells me I don't see it going like a week from release, like the old way. Yeah, I don't see them sitting that long. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, speed might be of the essence to have people burn what they can, and then they know people are a chunk are gonna go play Borderlands. Not everybody, but I mean, a chunk are gonna go play, especially like the streamers are gonna be leaving for a little bit to check out the new digs. But yeah, it's like what they do to space it stuff out to try and pull people back or things like that will be interesting too. So no, and then also, I mean, you think about Season of Opulence, and I feel like you mentioned this maybe off or at another point, the timing of Opulence with June 4th around E3. Do you think that is a factor for the day one push? Do you think this is like, hey, let's experiment with this because of this? Then they talk about the timing of after the raid jackets are awarded. They probably won't be shipped. That takes a while. But when they're awarded, I mean, E3 is the next week. Do you think they have a presence? Do you think they wait after, around, before, where?
My spider sense is tinkling. I think they're up to something. To me, it's too coincidental that they are doing this during the week of, right? Yeah. Now, we do know some things. We know Activision does not have a conference. Right?
Yeah.
We know Sony will not be at the conference. However, I find it interesting that Bungie is deciding to do this during that week. Biggest news, like what's the best way to get attention to your game? Announce something during E3 week. I wouldn't be surprised. If something big happens during that and they really start narrowing down some type of future of Destiny hint, leak, what's going on, something kind of bombastic, and to get juices riled up again for the fall. So we'll see.
So do you think it's going to be during E3 week, like not the 4th through 7th, but like that 8th through 15th, whatever, like when the conferences start that weekend and then the publics go on that week, you think it'll be sometime during that week?
I think they'll conveniently make some form of a statement, if not trailer of something, to say, hey, be out and look out for this, to get the hype rolling.
I mean, would they stream their own?
It's
or would
possible,
they put it on a stage? Because the only real stage, not PC, would be Microsoft.
You stealing my thunder.
I mean, that's the only stage that's there. That's because you're not going to do it with like there's Ubisoft and Square Enix.
Look, I'm gonna give y'all a preview. I'm gonna give y'all a preview. I was saving this for one more week, but this is my man E. So I gotta say, I spill the beans. This is the big cognito, connect the dots puzzle. That could be nothing. It could be completely wrong. This is what I'm going with. Bro, I am convinced that something's cooking because here's the thing. We know the deal ends, right? The Sony exclusivity deal, right?
We hope.
We know. No, that's a fact. Shout out to Hogue Law. We got maybe it's a fact. That agreement in conjunction with Activision, that's over in the fall. So Opulence is the last old content on the old agreement. They're done. So what I'm saying is they got to start planning already for the next suitor, so to speak, if they plan to go that route, which is where I'm guessing. And I'm guessing that even though that, what is it, NetEase money is okay, but that's mobile stuff. I think that they're going to be in a situation where they're not going to want to be brought out like exclusively, but I think Microsoft steps in with the marketing rights. I think just a marketing deal, just to say, hey, you come on our stage. And I don't think, because one thing about Phil Spencer, this shout out to Phil, Xbox Nation, all you guys, if you get any Xbox guys here. Here's the thing. One thing about Phil, hardcore Destiny player.
Oh, I know.
Hardcore. That's his favorite game, right? Bungie, we already know the relationship, but I don't think they want to get tied in. So I think they'll just say,
they bought their independence. I don't think
exactly.
They're doing that.
So what could, and Phil doesn't want his one thing about Phil Spencer, he doesn't like exclusive deals. Like even when he got Division, right, on Xbox, they got the marketing rights. There was no exclusive deal that they got where, oh, you only got this exotic on Division here, or, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what happens. And then here's the other thing. We just got the announcement with Azure servers, right? And Sony, right? I think they kick it off on the Microsoft stage, exclusive. You got a hint of the future, a little trailer comes out, and we say cross-play, cross-progression in the future, because we know Bungie wanted to do it already. We got the documentation, right? Are you with me on this? Are you with my conspiracy theory right now? You're connecting dots right now?
I don't see this in E3. I don't think...
This is where I'm going.
I don't think they're going to tie themselves to anyone anymore, specifically.
It's just a marketing deal, though.
No, but I don't think... I
All
think
marketing
Bungie
deal
likes,
is you get the commercial. That's it.
Well, I understand that piece of it, but I also think Bungie is not going to spend the time in E3. They prefer their live streams. They prefer them controlling the message, Deej sitting on the couch, taking you through whatever it's going to be. They prefer their reveals, their Vidocs, anything of that nature, in-house produced content, and I don't see that being on any stage, honestly. I don't see them. I think they'll let E3 die, and my assumption is going to be a week or two after E3 once that dust has settled, because that is a lot of crap going on, and they don't want to get lost. They would rather be like, hey, here's all the previews and stuff like this. That'll give it a little breath of fresh air, and then be like, hey, we got a stream coming on Wednesday, the 20th of June or something like that. Sure. That's my hunch, is that they will still be very separate from E3.
The only reason why I disagree is to that point, which is, again, not illogical, what you're saying. The reason why I disagree is because we got to remember they had the same deal with Sony, and they had the trailer. We saw the Cade death on a short snippet. It was during that whole E3 cycle. Yeah. And it was literally buried between 4 major games. It was Last of Us, Spider-Man, the same thing. And because their thing is, the long as they get eyes on it, you know what I'm saying? And again, it doesn't have to be in depth. It literally couldn't be a 5-minute trailer of Space
Cinematic,
Doritos,
yeah.
cinematic of Space Doritos
I
entering
don't
and
think those are
someone
coming
blows.
either, but that's
Yeah,
a
but
different thing.
exactly.
But yeah.
Whatever the next content is. You're right. It was too early for space, but it could be literally Aldrin walking into the tower or something, and people ready to shoot him.
That'll be a mess. God,
You
that's
know what I'm
gonna be
saying?
such a mess. Whenever that happens, he's up, like he's
Mhm.
standing. He breathed. Breath.
Mhm.
That's a fun word. No, but I was like, whenever he finally comes into the mix, man, that's gonna be such a mess.
And the other question is, they need a PC shooter. No more what you call it.
BattleNet.
No
I mean, it's
more
still
battle
there.
net.
So I don't know. Epic might buy him too.
That's my next one.
I was like, Epic might buy him. They just gonna be like, spend the
Bro,
money here. We'll
I
take your
can see them
12%
taking.
instead
I
of
can see them
25.
taking 2 bags. One from Microsoft for console marketing rights, no exclusive content. They can get rid of that, but they'll go. You get the marketing rights just so you can talk about it on stage. And I can see Epic backing the truck up and say, "Oh, I heard you were single
Looking
on
for a
PC.
PC platform.
Look at
I can
you wanna be
see.
my
I'm
Huckleberry?"
wondering, like, yeah, it's like Destiny 2 is still like a thing, and it's going to be a continuation and expansion of that platform. I still seeing Activision like being your PC, BattleNet being your PC support. Somehow, I think that's still going to be through D2. I don't think
to
they
be
can
honest, I hope so because I
pull-
love BattleNet.
Well, it's like, and that's fine with me. Granted, I wish there were still dedicated servers, but I think if you're going to make a switch, it has to be for D3. I think 2020 D3, when you're doing new consoles, you also look at a new platform because that's
Yeah, I
probably
can
when
see
they're
that.
going to have like the whole earth blow up, and that's where your vault's going to go in,
Yeah.
and that's how they're going to reset everything. That's when you can make that switch. I don't think you can pull AP like all that stuff off of BattleNet and be like, okay, now the expansion you're going to play on Epic. I don't think that happens yet.
But
Next
the
year,
deal does
maybe.
die though. The deal does die. It is curious what happens. The
Yeah.
deal with them does.
So, oh no, E3. So yeah, you're
gonna learn a lot.
during E3. Yep.
Mhm.
We'll probably know a lot before Guardian Con. I know I'm buying you a
Yeah.
drink over.
Yes, sir. Over a certain series.
Oh, Game of Thrones. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a thing. That's fine. Even though I feel like we'll see.
Mhm.
So, yeah, sometime before Guardian Con is probably when I expect to see the trailer, but I don't expect to see it in E3. I feel like that's too much going on. I feel like they like their own stage to me. But I also see if they would, it would be straight up at Microsoft's. I don't think they would do it anywhere else. But I don't think they just getting out of PlayStation want to dabble in the other piece either. So
Money talks, brother.
I know.
Money talks.
Not
People drop a
arguing,
bag.
I'm just saying.
People drop a bag in front of your porch. Things change.
So
Who would have thought Sony? Who would have thought Sony would be playing with Microsoft right now
yeah,
on Azure?
I mean, that's
Sony, a direct compare. Microsoft got the bag, man. Phil likes them. We'll see though. But like you said, in fairness to you, it literally could be what you said, that they can wait. They can say, hey, it's just too early. We don't have to talk about it right now. We can dominate the news cycle later. So that is a valid point either way. It can,
But yeah, so we've got the future lights being. We're getting close. But yeah, June 4th, man, get ready. You got not long, so start saving any bounties you can. Figure out what you're gonna do in the Dreaming City. If you want any powerful gear, get your team ready. If you got 6 people, I might try and go blind. I'm not gonna race, but I might try and go blind. Actually,
Let's go.
so that I think would be fun because honestly, Wrath I did blind completely, and those are fun. So I wouldn't mind seeing it blind and being like, "Hey guys, shut off Twitch. I don't care. I just want to play for fun. I'll go check the mechanics later. I just want to jump in with somebody and be like, let's see what happens." Because I know I'll have a 700 character. I don't know if I'll have 3 I can really burn through as efficiently, but honestly, like going in with some people, you'll be able to see the first encounter at 700, guaranteed. Now we know that. So
Exactly. Everybody can play, man.
I think that would be cool. So if you're looking at going in blind, hit me up on Twitter, PC, for that day. I think that'll be fun for sure.
I think I'm taking off work, bro.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm taking off. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm doing it, bro. So if you put me in there, I'll hit up Sinister. I'll hit up Addict. Oh, yo, let's do it, man. Let's get some blind. Get it popping.
So yeah, we'll be talking. We'll have even more to talk about next week on that. But before we wrap up, guys, I know this is a long one today. We got on comp and raid tangents and everything. Division 2's raid has been beaten.
Yes.
by more than just one or two people now. But despite what people think, they're not changing it. They're leaving it as is.
Yeah. Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
what do you think on that? Because basically, the big debate is PC versus console. The just basically the ability for your mouse and keyboard over controller. What you can do, like your ability to be more accurate at range, a little more detail, a little speed, and being able to move. All those pieces are a factor. And it took console. Now I think console's gotten better since more people, I guess, are figuring out tricks. But like, there does seem to be a pretty decent disparity. It feels like. Now, in fairness to that, Bungie with Last Wish, I think Cactus was the only clan to do it in the first 24 hours on console. So shout out to Cactus. But there were a lot more on PC as well. So again, do you get into a point of like, console is just one of those things with controller and you can't just whip around like you can with a mouse? Versus, do you think the difficulty needs to be changed, adjusted? I mean, from what I've heard, some of that stuff is... Man, I watch people beat their heads against the wall pretty hard, but I mean, it's a raid. It's meant to be hard. So what do you think? I want to get your thoughts.
I'm conflicted with this one, man, to be honest. And normally I'm of the hardcore, look, it's meant to be hard. You got to get busy. It's so unforgiving as far as the level of completions at this point that I am concerned. Because let's not act like, console guys are not trying really hard. I mean, we all know, yes, PC has the advantage with the frames. There's no doubt, right? That is a straight advantage. The only thing I'm concerned, and yeah, shout out to Vagabond, the loading is fast as well. The only thing as I'm concerned is that if this many people are not completing it, you got like one completion on, whatever, and I don't know.
It took them like 36 hours to do it, which is also just like what they fall asleep and like twitch their mouse every so often so they didn't get kicked out.
I'm a little concerned. I'm like, to me, it's like, are you being tone deaf, Massive, just with this only? We already talked about, we ain't going to get into the raid set because we were good into that. We'll laugh ourselves podcast. But, we've already talked about the rewards and how we feel about them. And it's like, I don't know how much longer you can go with it. Let's put it this way. If the next state of the game that they do, you know what I'm saying? And the numbers still reflect these low completion counts, fam, y'all got to change it a little bit. Y'all got to change something. At least the ease of entry. That's one thing Bungie learned. Like, remember when Black Armory came out, right? And they were like, yo, what's going on? The onboarding. So it's like something has to be tweaked. That's what my gut is telling me. Because this is too low. It's too low, E. Like, it's just my gut. But what are you feeling? You feeling they need to stick to their guns? You feeling where you at?
I'm probably where you are, but I mean, PC will have an advantage every time because you just have more pinpoint accuracy. You're not trying to manage like thumbsticks. You have a mouse. You have more just dexterity between those two. That's why more people on PC versus controller. Even in a PvP situation, 9.9 out of 10 people will tell you mouse and keyboard will beat controller more often than not. So that's one of those where it's tough to say. It's a different platform. But I mean, shout out to Bungie to basically make an array that seems to have tested well enough that you can do it on both.
Yes.
Like, that's one of those to where, do you need to hit this little thing? Are big giant bosses with head boxes, like mechanics ups and downs, but they've at least managed to keep it doable on all. Easier on PC might be a thing. But I don't feel like people have had this complaint about the Destiny raids ever, and this one seems to be a different thing. So
this reminds me of First Encounter, Black Armory. Remember how community was pissed? Be like, yo, we can't even do nothing. We're not even doing no damage. Like, it's just too high. Like, what's going on? And then Bungie, to their credit, what was it like? Would you say it was? How fast do you remember that tweak to Vault number 1 of Black Armory? Would you say it was a few
24
days?
hours?
Yeah, it was quick,
Less
man.
than 2 days. Less than 2 days.
2
Might have been
days.
36 hours, but yeah.
The community was like, this is ridiculous. We can't do anything. And like, I'm seeing them, and Massive is just drawing this line in the sand, like, nah, fam, you got to get good. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, be careful.
And then the other issue that a lot of people are now seeing, shout out to Imtash, because I'm not as well versed on the game, the builds.
Yes.
that are required to do this, there's one build, and it's DPS, and that's it.
That's it.
There's not much on mechanics or healing. It is just a DPS check, and that is more it than most. Like, there is communication, there's mechanics in those pieces, but the only sets that you can actually beat it, like if somebody went in there with like a, you know, ability set or something like that, doesn't matter. Like, the people who did it were full DPS builds. Most of the time, that was the success, and that's what more people who spent time be like, hey, I'm going to be the DPS guys. We're going to be these. Okay, we're going to have a couple people that are going to be mostly abilities for healing. But if you were like not doing what, like, if you weren't one of those and you grinded hours and hours and hours to build this perfect set, then that set's now useless because DPS is the only way to beat this thing. Mostly, it seems.
Here's the bigger picture, and this is where Bungie shows superiority, is that this is what they have to learn. If you're going to do that DPS thing, you can't have the whole rate. You got to have certain encounters that require certain builds so that everybody has a role, and then it's a more efficient, more effective overall experience. To have a pure DPS thing, it's like, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, there was no prep for the community to know. What if, like you said, like, what if we just build this completely other build? You're having fun, you're doing your thing, and then you start raiding, it's useless. Like, it's useless.
Yep.
And you have no encounter to help that build have any success in the raid. That is a design issue. That means you're showing your inexperience with these raids, and you're gonna have to take this feedback. Just, you know, like I said, I'm gonna. It's their first one, right? Not gonna get crazy. It's their first one, but they've got to now be receptive to feedback and listen. Otherwise, then you start doing decline and we start doing Anthem stuff. We don't want to do Anthem stuff. We don't like player bases doing this. We want to stay here, or we want to do this. So yeah, please, Massive, don't get too crazy, provided the player base, you know what I'm saying, like, isn't completing it still. They're still not. You got to do something. You got to change it.
Sorry if you guys hear noise in the background. I don't know if you can. It's a vacuum. So
It's light, like sound like vacuuming or something.
Okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully it ends soon. Yeah, that's kind of one of those things. And that's like, shout out to Bungie for having that, like, walk the magical balance line. And that's not an easy thing to do because, I mean, there's a lot of testing that goes into these things, and they've learned a lot over the course of doing what they've done. So, I mean, that's one of those things, like, they've done well to listen to the community to not release the 515. If gear sets were dropping. But generally, like, your difficulty needs to be in fairness, or as you said, like, it can't just all be about DPS, and that's like a hard piece to learn. So it did sound cool on some of the mechanics. I know, like, I kind of watched Imtash's video kind of explaining the fights and things like that. I was watching some of the first day one races and things. All of those pieces were cool.
Yeah.
But if it's just a bit too much for like 99.999% of people, you're going to exclude a lot. When you already feel like you waited too long to almost release it, that's kind of the other issue. It's like, you have to, at this point, now help with the onboarding into the raid. If you've already waited this long for people that fell off to be like, well, crap, this is even too hard. I don't have the perfect set. Well, I'm not going to go try it. You're not helping bring people back to the new content you dropped, which is a big deal, or supposed to be at least.
You nailed it. It's literally onboarding. You want people to at least attempt. You want people to, well, they are attempting, but you want people to be able to get past the first encounter. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like, you want them to get substantial, and then you can crank it up. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But if they're not getting past first counters and second encounters, there's no desire to want to continue that, and they have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? They got it. They have to be careful. So we'll see. I'm very curious to see next state of the game, where they are with things, which should be like next Wednesday or next Thursday, and to see how they respond.
Yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to touch on that one just because that difficulty seems to be a point of contention right now. So we will see what happens there. But all in all, hey, it shut off for a second. Okay.
Shout out to that carpet getting clean.
Yeah, gotta keep the house clean. So we have a lot to look forward to. Next week I'll open a few more eyes upon the changes to the sandbox, which will be really cool. And seriously, it's back.
Oh, it's not even that bad, bro.
Okay,
Relax.
cool.
It's not even that
All
bad.
right.
Yeah, you
I can hear it through my headset.
You can hear it, but for us, it's light.
Okay,
like
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, seriously though, like Opulence could be cool because we haven't talked about the redacted stuff, the 6-player match-made activity that we don't even know if is going to launch in the beginning or if that's going to be another week later. What else is redacted? Like, is there an exotic quest? Is there hidden things? Is there another whisper? Is there another 0 hours? What else is in this season? Like, we don't even know.
You don't even know.
There's an exotic quest for everybody on the roadmap. We know that piece. We don't know any of the other redacted stuff. Like, there could be quite a bit more.
I'm hoping, man. I like I said, I mean, I've always felt
Drip,
positive.
drip, as you say.
Drip. Yeah, drip. But I felt positive about this drip.
Yeah.
This is the one that I'm like, you know what? A raid's coming back. Looks like a couple, a lot of secret stuff. Getting exotic. I feel a little better. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I mean, gotta be better than Drifter. But because Drifter, after really assessing, just wasn't strong enough for me. I actually like Black Armory better as a whole. As crazy as that sounds, I like the gameplay loop. The only thing Black Armory didn't have, I think Drifter, yes, has lore behind it, and that's what kind of saves it and make it cool. But if you don't really like Gambit Prime, isn't like Stone in the same boat? You told me about Stone, like he don't really care for. Does he like Gambit Prime?
Probably not. I don't even know if a lot of people are torn on Gambit versus Gambit Prime too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Forte, for the sub.
Oh, salute, Forte. That's what's up, man. Had to argue with you earlier. Sorry.
All good. He's back. He's in good standing.
Yeah, he's back. He's back on. But yeah. I mean, I struggle with it, and it's something about the gameplay loop of Armory that I really did enjoy. With grinding out for those roles, right? Grinding out for those weapons. I think it was cool. You had Jotun. You had, you know what I'm saying? You had Izanami, Last Front. It was just cool things to just continue to play the grind for. And that ultimately is what Destiny about. They just need to throw more lore. If they threw good lore in Armory, it'd be good. So that's why I'm hoping that Opulence is the sweet spot. With the good gameplay loop. And I think Callus, I feel confident that we're going to get a little, you know what I'm saying?
You're really hoping on that one, man. We'll see.
I'm hoping, man. I'm being positive.
I'm
being positive.
We will see. So, yeah, definitely, guys, tune in next week. We'll have even more to talk about. Sandbox changes. Pinnacles will be a discussion. I'm going to finish up my Luna's grind.
Woo, comp, man.
10 comp. 10 precision hand cannon kills to go. 10. And it's my 10 and it's mine.
Oh, you got it, baby. You got that Ace of Spades. I'm about to pull out my Ace of Spades. Man. I got to get down with it. I don't know why.
That's what I've been living on PC. That's the gun. I heard it. I was like, all right, I'm living on it.
You know what it is, E? I have this one last thing, and I'm living. I got this bad habit of having an ego with the meta, right? So what always happens to me is when I
fight it.
Yeah, like when I see everybody.
No, I'm not gonna use that. I'm like, I'm gonna use something else. I gotta be different. I gotta try and break the meta because I'm better than you're not better than the average of every single high level player out there. Go live in the meta. Have fun.
It's like you're having a different outfit on. Everybody got the same outfit. I gotta be fresh, man. I gotta be different.
Yeah, but if your T-shirt you just pulled out of the laundry doesn't look as good as that pressed white button down, you got nothing, man. You got to step in with what they're using. It looks too good out there. There's a reason.
Yeah. You know what it is though?
I mean, PC, it's Ace. Like Ace is not the same on console. PC, it's Ace. I think
it's that radar, man. Look down sight radar. That is the huge thing because you know where people are, and I gotta. Yeah, you really do. I gotta dust it off and infuse it and stop playing around. That's what it is.
So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go for mountaintop, but man, I hear some people on DPS. If you go mountaintop with like a barricade or Lunafaction like mountaintop is powerful. I hear. I've seen people like going through 0 hour with it and stuff in videos. So
really,
like, mountaintop, Recluse, and like Thunderlord, for example. I've seen some people playing a crazy build like that. So like, I mean, granted, that's so many grenade launcher kills, and some of them, like I'm slowly working on the grenade launcher. I've been using like Militia's Birthright or whatever, the kinetic one, just to get some general use. but the double kills, the multi kills, and then the 3 without dying. I don't know how many you need on those, but man, I have 0% on both of those, and I've been playing a lot of comp. Like, that is going to be a whole different. I'm going to be useless to my team when I go for that.
Yeah,
I'm going to be like, let me see how low I can get that glory score back down. Can I get it down to 0? Because it might happen. So
yeah, Lily camping by the heavy.
All right, guys. Well, it's been awesome today. I think we're going to let this man get some sleep. You guys, this will be on audio. I'll try and get a little, since I don't have the issue today. I'm actually recording it. Audio should go up pretty quick. And then I'll post this up. My video tomorrow. I think it'll be yours today for Iron Lord's podcast. And yeah, you guys can catch that one, but catch the audio, guys, and, listen there. We're trying to help grow that one. So Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast, and like 6 others. There's a whole bunch of places you can find the audio version. So take it with you on the road. Listen to it while you work, because I know YouTube's not always as data friendly for some. So thank you all very much. It's been awesome this morning. Tell them what you got going on this week, sir.
Yeah, man. Iron Lord Podcast, you already know we got a big one. This Sunday is the Prediction Series Part 2. That last week, Part 1 was a fantastic. Shout out to Arix Gaming, Stealth, and all the crew that came through, man. These guys show tremendous love. If you missed that one's on the Nintendo E3 Prediction Series. That was last week. Check that out on Iron Lord Podcast YouTube channel. But this week, it's all about Sony. So we're going to have some Sony representation in the building. We're going to have my man J-Dub City. We're going to have Broken Games HD. And I believe we are going to have the Silver Sky and Jay Barry. So we're going to have some strong Sony support.
Really, the full podcast you got there.
Yeah, we got 4 guests, great panel. We're going to talk about the future of Sony, everything that's going on in the industry with them, the outlook for PlayStation 5. Please check that out. And of course, on the Iron Lord Podcast, you already know we've got some other good content. Please check out King. He's got some great King of the Statues up right now. Tremendous Iron Man. Please check that out. It's really nice. He's got that going on. And as you already know, last word you can find later after if you didn't watch it live. You can catch it later also on ILP. Thanks to my man E. Puts it up. Shout out there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's going to be a good show. So please, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check it out. And also, last plug, I will put in lordsofgaming.net, y'all. Please check us out. I'll put those TWABs up early in the morning on Fridays. My little synopsis of what's the key points and stuff that we end up talking about here. And yeah, man, really, really cool stuff. So appreciate the love, lordsofgaming.net. And that's what I got, man. That's what I got.
So shout out, guys. Got a secret guest scheduled for June 28th. We got him potentially pending on the books. You guys will look forward to that show. So June 28th, see if you want to catch that one live. That one will be cool. Work on another guest. So trying to get some other people in here to mix it up with us, because while we have 2 opinions, the more the merrier sometimes, especially in Destiny Mind. So trying to get a few more people to pass through with us. Guests are honestly they're always awesome, because we have a lot of fun in here, but getting that third opinion, just crazy. So hey, guests are a good thing. So I'm just not going to reveal who it is right now. We'll let you know when we get closer, once it's all ironed in and set.
Bro, it's hot. I'm telling y'all, chat. Yo, y'all going to like these guests, man.
So,
y'all gonna like
yeah, you guys have been awesome today. Chat's been lit. You guys have been amazing. I still feel weird saying lit. I'm too white. I really am. There's certain words I just can't say, and
you can say lit.
I'm neon white over here. So. It's true. Anyway, but thank you guys very much.
Jada Boss with the lit.
You guys are awesome. So that is it for this week of May 24th. Tune in next week. Check out Iron Lord's podcast, the channels, the YouTubes, everything, everywhere, Twitch, Twitter, all those things. So thank you guys very much. Iron Lord's podcast, lordsofgaming.net. And for this week, episode 60, we made it to 60.
60?
It's another good round number. And yeah, for this week, it has been the last word.